Okay, the live stream should be starting up soon. Please give me a moment to make sure everything is set up properly. Okay, YouTube thumbnail is up to date. Twitch is going. Update the Rumble description. Oh, Rumble should be good to go now. Okay, it seems like that's going good. Let me Rumble should be good to go now. Oops, got to mute Rumble. Was I sort of speaking weird? Rumble should be good to go now. Oops, got to mute Rumble. Alright, close enough. I'm apologies for mumbling. Which I tend to mumble all the time. And it will be really loud. There's no in between for me. Yep, looks like, there we go. The Twitch is going good. Rumble seems like it's going good. So, let's go ahead and get started. Not sure how many replays I have for you all tonight. These are mainly replays left over from last week, in which I was a little bit too tired to cast. Long week. And a long week this week. But, either way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the south side as the Red Saracens. We have Eld Mexican Ox, I think. Spawn on the top left side as the Blue Mullions. We have Antoine, Roquentin. Oh, either way, looks like I've got the screen cleaned on up. And let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses. For Saracens, of course, they are a camel and naval civilization. Market trade costs only 5%. Markets cost less wood. Transport has increased carry capacity. Transport hit points. Galleys like 25% faster. And camel units get plus 10 hit points. Unique unit is a Mameluke, camel rider. Unique unit is zealotry. Camel units get plus 20 hit points. Counterweight is trebuchets and mangonels get plus 15% attack. And foot archers does plus 2 damage versus buildings. We got the scout advancing forward. Looks like maybe just aggressively scouting. Let's switch over to blue. Let's see what his civilization bonuses are. The Mullions, of course, a infantry civilization. Buildings cost 50% less wood. Barracks unit get additional pierce armor per age starting feudal age. And villagers drop off 15% more gold. Unique units a Gebeto, a unique throwing melee range infantry unit. Unique text to Guli, town centers can fire arrows when on garrison. Don't really see that being all too useful most of the time. And Fambia, cavalry gets plus 5 attack. Universities work 8% faster. Down here we've got this scout of moving around. Looks like both sides decided to eco up, and now we've got a bit of a militia rush for blue. With the militia rush, now feudal age, getting out his man-at-arms. We got a man-at-arms timing rush. What does red have for defense? That is blue. Red just got his own feudal age now. I hear it looks like the scout getting some slices on in there. Does manage not to get the wall there in time, and there's the man-at-arms. Now the point of view. Science doing a great job of body blocking his villagers. The scout, however, seen quite a bit of fire there. One villager does go down for red. And we could see this. There's an exposed villager here. Looks like he's going to be hunting him down. Villager's trying to shank the scout. Does shank the scout. And good man-at-arms hits there, but he may not be able to get the kill. Man-at-arms is the fastest unit. He does manage to stop the palisade walls there, and now he's sort of walled in himself into a corner. Man-at-arms have received a little bit of damage there, but nothing too significant. Up north, got Red Scout. Does admire that mud barracks. And now we've got the men-at-arms trying to hit down this palisade wall there. We've got a house being blown out of its glorious -1 armor. And looks like I forgot to change my setup for... There you go, much better. Villager does go down right there, very nice. And those palisade walls have been cleaned on up. Sorry about that, I realized I forgot to change up my camera location and start the stream. Oh, and the man-at-arms still have plenty of health remaining, which is very, very good. This is a minimal damage. We got the +1 pierce armor thanks to their unique technology. Townsend arrows does 5 damage, so it does technically 3 damage, which is... So it is technically a... Let's see, the base damage technically would be 4, barring it. It would do... It goes on to 3, so that'd be 25% damage reduction. Which is actually not half bad, barring the second, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th arrow. It's the primary arrow that does that damage. Do you know how these archers spawn in the field? The archers have 4 attack damage, so that extra pierce armor from the civilization bonus will absorb an extra shot there, reducing the damage output of those archers by 50%. No. So it's going from 3 to 2, so there's a reduction of 33%. It all depends how you look at it. If you go from 2 to 3, that's an increase of 50%. If you go from 3 to 2, that's a decrease of 33%. Which is still quite significant. This one could rush out some extra range armor tech, but that's probably not likely to happen because these man-at-arms are probably going to fall off quite hard in the near future. This bonus will probably get out fletching relatively soon. Nope, just getting more archers. This bonus can get out fletching, will give him also 1+ range and counteract any sort of ranged armor, but the extra range does make a massive difference. So going for armor as opposed to attack versus attack does become still a net loss. Looks like good hits there on the scout cavalry, which sustained quite a bit of abuse. And now we've got these archers advancing on forward, and I'll go ahead and select an ostrich to support the archers. We got a patrol move there. It's a desert, so maybe this is the Mojave Wasteland. Patrol in the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Sorry, I love Fallout New Vegas. Oh, and there's something else I forgot as well. I'm going to disable the preview on OBS. It tends to fix a lot of frame rate issue. But then again, I think this is my first stream with my new hardware with Age of Empires 2. And the new hardware is also very good. You got a large number of skirmishers here. It does have fletching upgrade on the skirmishers. But the archers do not have fletching upgrade. So these skirmishers actually outrange the archers. Why have tiny bow when you can just throw a spear? Now, man-at-arms does find a good engagement on these villagers. Skirmishers are advancing forward. There's at least 1 archer in the mix, not a spearman. There's a spearman. And looks like Red goes and backs out of the game. Having trouble with pretty standard militia rush into man-at-arms timing. That 1 pierce armor, I believe, that 1 additional pierce armor for his man-at-arms probably made a massive difference. By the way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to your next replay. A relatively short replay, but yeah, I would say good, but it was pretty basic. Not bad, not good. By the way, let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay, spawning in this general across the map region as the Red Bulgarians. We has Wiss spawn as the Cyan Bulgarian player who spawned. Wait a second, they're converging right next to each other. They're not too. They're pretty close to each other, not ultra close, but that's going to be pretty close to each other. It's going to be a very, very messy potential fight. He does spot the Cyan Scout sheep there, and does potentially see that build radius if he's paying close enough attention. So the 2 town centers are here and there, so that it could be very, very problematic for either side. Cray posts could be very good at this moment in time because they're cheaper, and they can be very good for a castle age tower pushing, quote unquote. Either way, let's go and cover each player's bonuses. For the Red Bulgarians, they're of course a infantry and cavalry civilization. Militia line upgrades are free. Town center costs 50% less food. Blacksmith and siege workshop technologies cost 50% less food, and of course can build the Cray post. Unique unit is a Cray. Onyx is a very, very stubborn cavalryman. Unique tech stirrups. Cavalry gets plus 33% attack faster. Baggins militia line gets plus 5 armor. Blacksmiths work 80% faster. On the north as the Cyan Bulgarians. Let's go and cover his civilization potion bonuses. We do, of course, as the Cyan Bulgarians. Their bonuses are military upgrades are free. Talents that cost 50% less food. Blacksmith and siege technologies cost 50% less food. Can build Krapos. Unique Iconics, which is a very stubborn cavalryman. Unique Texas Stirrups, which is cavalry attacks 50% faster. The Baggins militia line gain plus 5 armor. Blacksmith work 80% faster. And we do also now have an elephant being brought into the... Oh! Almost did a bad job, but almost did not get to the elephant to collect right there. It does have a large number of villagers collecting this food, 15 villagers. And over here, we do got not a whole lot of food on the elephant, as with some of these zebra. A bit more wood being collected up, so we do got a bit of a variation on and resource collection. And now, oh, I do see... We do now have the militia. The militia upgrade is free. Looks like it's going from militia rush, getting 5 militiamen on the field. But now we've got the militia engaged militia. I think Red will come out ahead with a fraction of a second faster. No, it was actually a dead neutral trade. Very nice, or not nice, depending on who you're rooting for. Are you rooting for the Bulgarian player or are you rooting for the Bulgarian player? We do, of course, have the handful of walls being plotted now. We've got a pretty sizable militia rush for Red. We do now have archer range being pulled up by Cyan, trying to counter the men-at-arms with archers. We have Cyan selected. He is low in housing. And we'll go ahead and go for a blacksmith as well. He may be eyeing to win a... No, he's definitely, if you're going for archers, he's definitely going for fletching. But no archers on the build queue. Do now have fletching and archer, first archer deployed out, being deployed on out. This villager can maintain repairs for quite some time. The mining camp is being out damaged over repairs. Down south, we do got Science 2 militia now advancing around. Man-at-arms do have 6 attack, 0 armor at this point in time, and 45 health. Fishermen have 3 damage, 40 health, and they do have +1 pierce armor, so it's basically 5 versus 3 with a little less health as well. So in theory, 6 villagers or 5 villagers should be a win out versus man-at-arms, but it will sustain a bit of damage. Does manage to bleed these guys over here, and now his man-at-arms engaging the man-at-arms. Very nice. Looks like this man-at-arm does go down. These man-at-arms are a little bit wounded, especially this one here. A bit of town center fire based on his location. In fact, he's still... he's actually garrisoned the archers inside the town center to get those arrows firing passively. Very, very nice. Archers only have 5 damage. Town center has now 6 damage here. And these archers getting perhaps a little bit too close there. Firing a couple arrows off now. Gets a good kill. And these militia are slowly being whittled apart. Though this villager will in fact go down. Red does have a villager advantage, 29 versus opponent's 25. And Cyan is going for wheelbarrow. That's also slowing down his opponent. Wheelbarrow is one of those technologies that people just... It's a debate when you should go for it. It does provide a general resource economy buff for your entire civilization. But of course, it does also mean that you don't build villagers for the meantime. It's one reason why Vikings have some of the best economic benefits. And that's simply they get free handcart and wheelbarrow. Also, it is wheelbarrow, not wheelbarrow. No L's. And those who don't get wheelbarrows will give the opponents the L. Okay, I'm not sure where I was going with that joke. Here we go. The wheelbarrow, the lack of L's, will be given to their opponent, since he doesn't need them to spell wheelbarrow. That still could be better. Need to work on that one. Villagers now receive a bit of fire there, and will go down. Remember, Cyan does have less villagers than opponents, so losing these are much more significant. Sure, he does have wheelbarrow, but he's not giving his opponent the L just yet. I guess he researched wheelbarrow, not wheelbarrow. Scout now, multiple scouts being pulled out by Cyan, very nice. Scouts do have a base attack of right now 6. He must have got the melee attack upgrade. Yes, we do have the blast furnace. Of course, with the reduced food cost thanks to him being Bulgarians, that could be very handy indeed. And that's a handful of stone walls there. Interesting. Well, these man-at-arms will not get through that anytime soon. It has 8 melee armor, and the man-at-arms have 7 attacks, so they will be doing 1 damage per slice. But the lumber camp only has 1 melee armor and only 800 health. So a better target to slice down. Archers can go to advance forward, just some fire on the lumber camp. Lumber camp needs some desperate needed repairs. We've got multiple skirmishers as well as man-at-arms advance forward. These skirmishers, at this point in time, are going to be relatively decent versus these archers. Let's take out one of the archers now. Scout's not trying to get some slices onto these skirmishers. These scouts have advanced forward, and I think I heard a dead elephant right there. The skirmishers are getting some spears into the villagers. Scouts advancing forward, trying to get some damage onto these skirmishers now. And that archer is now receiving a bit of fire there. And, of course, receives a lot of spears to his chest. Maybe the head. Definitely not to the E. That's where arrows go. He didn't get married. He died. Scouts advancing forward, trying to get some damage onto these skirmishers. Very nice. If he kills off the skirmishers, it allows archers to do a bit more work. He invested a bit into fletching. Let's get one of the skirmishers there as well, and also stalls out his opponent from engaging the lumber camp anymore. Another scout is advancing forward. Man-at-arms are really trying to deal with those scouts. In fact, having the scouts make these guys dance around like this is actually really good. It means they're not attacking. Though it does take quite a micro there and does lose a scout. Over here, we got a very, very far out lumber camp. Sheep over here could spot it and report back to his opponent. Now the man-at-arms is trying to engage the scout once again. The scout is severely wounded. Trying to find engagement onto the skirmisher. Does not finish off the skirmisher right there. Archer receiving a bit of fire now. Does repair up the lumber camp. No, he's out of wood. No? Okay, maybe I was looking at the wrong health bar. I was looking at the health bar of this wounded villager there. My bad. I saw him stop building, repairing that, and I saw the low health bar, and I thought, oh no, he must have ran out of wood. He can no longer repair it, but nope. Just me being a bit blind. So to be fair, when it's all these large full health bars, it's sort of hard to tell which one's actually the correct health bar, but it's that one right there. Man-at-arms now slowly being picked apart. We do got these spearmen getting some good hits there onto the scout while the villagers do go down. Red currently has 44 villagers. His opponent has 36. We do got Castle Age for Cyan. Red is going for Castle Age as well and has got a head start on it. Cyan's going to be facing the back foot. Man-at-arms have got tired of being shot in the back by the archers, and now they're going to chase them down into the town center. You could throw them inside the town center. And the man-at-arms do go down. A couple of these archers are quite wounded. He can throw them in the town center to get healed up over time. Got 3 scouts in this region, 2 spearmen here. I've got these 4 stables here. One in researching bloodlines. He may be eyeing for Knight Advanced Red is. And upon seeing these stables, he may want to get out some spearmen. Good as there onto that spearman. It does take out that spearman. Oh boy, these scouts are all wounded. You can't throw them in the town center to get healed up. You can't throw scouts or the horsemen into the town center. You have to use a castle for that. Might as well go ahead and research herbal medicine while at it, right? Villager does go down there. These red villagers are trying to run away. Red has currently 44 villagers. Got multiple knights on the build queue now. And now they're going to be applying pressure onto Cyan's base. We got a single spearman trying to chase these knights. We got another spearman here. Knights are going to build. There's plenty of stone walls here. One's not fully built. That's fine for the time being. And now Cyan's advanced to Castle Age as well. This gold deposit here is about to get mined out, which could result him. Oh wait, no, there's already a breach there. Let's go and close up the breach there with some palisade walls. Very nice. And Science still having happy times with that lumber yard there, and getting some good food from this fishing hole, watering hole. And now do got the pikeman upgrade, getting some good hits there on the cavalry. And does spot this stone being collected on the outskirts as well. The knights could advance forward. This knight's probably one stab away from death. And nope, he's hitting the wrong one. Knight's now down to 2 health, now down to 0 health, and that villager will go down. Another villager will go down as well. Cyan can't be losing these villagers like this. More knights are pushing way forward. We've got another couple set of pikemen. Knights do generally win 1-on-1 versus pikemen, but it's not a good trade. This Cyan has stole those sheep from Red. You monster. Now got these knights advancing on forward, trying to find some good engagement on these villagers. Oh boy, what's up with this farm placement? Heresy. Pikeman will be quickly picked off there, but does manage to finish off that wounded knight. This knight is also quite wounded. And the dude now got these 2 pikemen advancing forward. And these 2 pikemen will find this knight doing some great damage right there. They can turn around, try to stab this wounded knight as well, but looks like he may be able to escape on out of there. Looks like some sheep are being claimed. Red has gotten out what appears to be 2 town centers, at least he's building from 2 town centers. Cyan has been struggling with his villager production. Cyan's now down to 36. He's not been building villagers whatsoever. He's actually low on food. That's actually probably the big problem right there. There's no more food right there, and oh. He needs food, not gold. There's a Krapos now here. Hopefully get some murder holes. Obviously, he'll get murdered. Do Cyan's knights advancing forward. Cyan still needs more villagers. In fact, he's just not getting any villagers at the moment. There we go. Got 2 in the build queues now, so it looks like he has 2 town centers. And Red's now advancing forward as well. Is he going for a Krapos? Red has... No, he's going for a full castle. Both players are in castle age, which means both players can pull out battering rams. These pikemen advancing forward, but there's too many knights. Let's pick up the wounded knight there. Very nice. And the knights do see a bit of fire there. Krapos is still in this region. Knights now are seeing some stabs there from the pikemen. Very good. And it looks like these knights are going to be forced them back, but this castle's still going up. And he's also lacking still villager production, and immediately slaughters those sheep. Mining camp now being pulled on out. Town center is receiving quite a bit of fire from the castle. The castle does do bonus damage versus buildings, so that town center only has a small window right now of staying alive. Needs to, oh, I heard a siege workshop there. We got a Connex being pulled out here as well. There's actually 1 Connex inside the garrison as well. Side has 44 villagers. The opponent has 79. Red now has a Connex deployed on the field. It is receiving town center fire there. It does go down there, but he gets back up. In fact, his opponent forgot that it dismounts. And now the Connex will go ahead and engage. The dismounted Connex will go down very shortly. And now we've got Cyan advancing forward. Dude got defensive Krapos here by Red. Connexes may engage. Dude, that's where the siege workshop there. There is a battering ram now hitting Red's market. And these are Connexes. I don't know why at first I thought they looked like cavalry archers from distance. The Connexes now advancing forward. Connexes don't really win out versus Knights versus 1v1. But of course it does have that second phase. Spearman's also in the mix as well. Both Connexes are now on the ground. Now both Connexes are now have been put in the ground. And this battering ram will manage to break down this market no problem. He can't really advance to the Connex, the Krapos just yet, as long as there's all those knights in the region. We have another town center over here. Even claim some zebra. And Cyan's town center has received quite a bit of fire as well. He needs repairs. He's about ready to lose his town center. And looks like he does decide to allow the town center to go down. Still need some battery rams in this region, as well as a good escort force to engage those knights. Knight does go down to this pikeman. Now Science advancing forward with multiple battery rams. Let's get some good damage there onto the town center. But we do have a Mangonel here. Mangonel's doing reasonably well versus battery rams. Nice little patrol around. They can perhaps get sent to castle to get healed on up. Now going for the Cray Post. Battery ram does go down now. Now we've got another Cray Post been pulled out by Cyan. He also needs a mill in this region. These farms are just not really collecting all too well. There's a mill here. Farms now under siege. Got the pikemen now advancing forward, trying to deal with these knights. Cyan does not have murder holes at the moment. Red does not have murder holes either. Good arrow fire there. Does manage to take out a knight. A large number of those knights are very wounded. Now we do have two battery rams here deployed out by Red, hitting Cyan's Cray Post. This Mangonel can do some great splash damage with those houses, not to the battery rams. Big oversight there by Cyan. He could have got a great hit there. Right now, villager count, Cyan has 55. Red has 107. So right now, Red has nearly double his opponent's villager count. Red's now advancing forward with his knights there. Force fires the ground there, unsuccessful. And now we've got a Red's battery rams advancing forward. While these knights are severely wounded. At this point in time, I'm not joking. Throw them inside a castle, maybe a Cray Post. Get some health regen for the. Do now have Connex deployed on field. The Connexes do have relatively fast deployment time, but now this Cray Post is under a severe amount of fire. One of those battery rams do go down. More Connexes being deployed on now. Mangonel right here. Fires a decent volley there. Got 3 Connexes still up going. All the knights have gone down. The Cray Post does go down. And none of the Connexes does get dismounted. Good to stay on the battery ramp with the Mangonel. It finds a kill there as well. I hear a conversion. I'm not sure where though. Maybe Cyan's, maybe Red's. Red's now going for some more housing over here. And do got a convert onto one of Red's knights. It looks like I got a large number of outposts being deployed up by Red. And these horses are advancing forward, trying to get some damage on these stables, trying to clean them up slowly. And there's actually, okay, that's a pikeman there. I don't know why it looked like some sort of like long swordsman or two-handed swordsman. Knights now advancing forward. There's a good number of pikemen here. The pikemen, however, seeing a lot of free damage from the knights. Here, convert as well, trying to go for this Connex. Does claim a Connex, very nice. Interesting reaction is if Connex does get killed, converted while Heresy's active, the Connex, the horse dies and Connex gets up. So the horse is the actual unit of the unit. The rider has no free will. It's all the horse. Constantly receiving a bit of fire from that town center. And now these villagers are going to receive some fire there. One villager does go down. Constantly going to be backing on off. Looks like that Connex will go down, but there's a handful of spearmen advancing forward. Gains some great damage on those spearmen. Now go for conversion as well. Hey, grab himself a couple Connexes. Does grab himself a couple Connexes. Very, very nice. sparing those connexes does give him quite a bit of size, much more sizable force to engage these stables. Red currently has 129 villages, opponents at 66. We do not have another castle being put out by Red. And this stable will go down. Looks like Red's not going for Imperial Age. Let's see if Cyan's doing something similar. He is. Both got similar Imperial Age timing. Red's has small. Actually, there's each other's reserves are not that too high. Red's higher economy has not been paying dividends, at least not as much. Though I suppose he does have a larger outstanding army with all these knights. These villagers will be intercepted, will be taken out. Ideally, do now have Cyan going for a castle right there. Yep, those villagers does get slaughtered. And these two villagers may be trying to eye this area to build some more infrastructure, maybe the castle itself. Cyan has not researched murder holes just yet. He may want to get that. And now the castle is now pulled on the field. He's throwing some arrows there onto those villagers. We do see Bracer technology, or can get Bracer. It does have the Bodkin arrow research. Remember as well, the Bulgarians can only get regular archers. They can't get anything heavier than regular archers. No crossbowmen, no arbalests. So the archer upgrades are pretty much only useful for your skirmishers as well as your structures, such as your prey post. You now have a Connex now engaging these knights. Knights are exploiting the fact that his opponent does not have murder holes. We've got multiple Connexes in this region now. Let's get those forces inside of the castle. He can quickly pop out of the castle, deal with this knight, or maybe try to aim for these battering rams. He does have the two dismounted Connexes and one mounted Connex. And now we have a trebuchet being put on the front line, but I don't think his battering rams will allow him to do that. These villagers need to start repairing up this castle now. Let's get outside the castle now, but there's got these multiple battering rams in the region. That's why Mangonel there gets good volley onto the Mangonels. Knights do overwhelm the Mangonel, but the Connexes are getting some great damage on the Knights. He still has not started repairing up the castle. The castle will go down to these battering rams. There's far too many battering rams, but does manage to get the trebuchet built in time. But these battering rams need to make their target that trebuchet now. Trebuchet should eye for the high ground, does get the high ground there to get the bonus damage versus the castle. Couple Knights advancing forward with his handful of defensive spearmen. And we've got these Connexes now whacking apart a mining camp, which is not going to be servicing anything. Battering is now pushing way forward, trying to gauge that trebuchet. They are, of course, upgraded to cap rams. You can get out siege rams, siege onagers, siege engineers, no bombards, and heavy scorpions. But heavy scorpions are pretty uncommon. Oh, got hit by a couple lag spikes there. More Connexes are advancing on forward. I was unable to convert that Connex. This house will go on down to that knight. And the Connex is now going to be hacking apart those spearmen. Red's trebuchet is doing a lot of damage there to the prey post. You guys now some two-handed swordsmen. They don't appear to be super hyper upgraded. Yep, only has level 1 attack, level 2 armor. Let's see what his opponent has at the moment. He does have all 3 melee armor, and also has 2 melee attack with 2 melee horse armor as well. Prey post does go down, and this castle is still cleaning up all this infrastructure. There's been a lot of arrows fired from it. Now Red's going to be advancing forward with these two-handed swordsmen. They currently have 9 melee armor. Of course, their unique tech militia line gets +5 armor, which is quite significant. Let's see, he can deploy out heavy cavalry archers and get Parthian tactics and thumb rings, so he can get fully generic but upgraded cavalry archers, potentially engages 2 swordsmen. We do have 6 pierce armor, which is quite significant. While the Gamerson upgrade has been researched, yes it has. And now this monster is receiving quite a bit of fire, or slices. In this game, they don't throw torches. That's an innovation from Age of Empires 3. And it looks like science now backed out the game. This is Anagrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see now. I'm going to delete that replay. Think about getting some caffeine that's nearby. If you give me one moment, as well as I want to make sure, yep. Other tabs. Long story short, I had issues yesterday with Chrome consuming too much CPU or RAM usage. Please give me about 5 seconds to grab a can of caffeine. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and talk about the Bulgarians and the Franks. Natural-born enemies, like the Englishmen and Scots. Greetings everyone, Anagrade here for another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on top left side as the red Bulgarians with KH Monaz. Either way, spawn as the blue Franks. We have a 4 name. Got all these goats being slaughtered there, as well as let's go ahead and cover each player's civilization bonuses. The Bulgarians are infantry and cavalry civilization with a hint of defense. Militia line upgrades are free. Town centers cost 50% less load. Less stone. Not sure why I said load. Blacksmith and siege workshop technologies cost 50% less food. Can build great bows. Unique units of Connex. There's a stubborn cavalry unit. Unique Texas syrups. Cavalry attack 35% faster. And Baggins. Militia line gets plus 5 armor. Blacksmiths work 80% faster. Small on the bottom right side. The Franks civilization bonuses. We have castles cost minus 25%. Cavalry get plus 20% hit points starting in feudal age. Mill technology is free. Warriors work 50% faster. Unique unit is the throwing axeman, which is a ranged melee unit. Game already! Looks like the game may have been paused for a moment. Throwing axeman is probably going to be very, very not useful versus the potential Baggins militia armor. Speaking of which, now we've got the feudal age militia rush. Chevrolet stables work 40% faster. Team bonus. Knights get plus 2 line of sight, making it so they can potentially just self-spot. Militia now advancing forward. Scout does get a nice scout. And cyan, or blue, he may have seen those militia members move across right there. I don't remember exactly what their pathing was. No footsteps. Wasn't the big... What the hell? Oh, crap. I actually turned on the camera view. I was like, what's going on? Let's throw some arrows there on that scout. Or at least a arrow. And this militia rush is trying to hit some of this units. And now it's going to have to braid a town center fire. Or arrows. Hope the town center's not on fire. Yet. Looks like that villager may go down. There may be an opening right there. It's hard to tell. But there could potentially be an opener there. Nope, let's go ahead and cancel that infrastructure. And now it's going to be trying to break down the palisade wall here. We do have a spearman right here as well. As well as now archer range is being pulled out by the Franks. Those are trying to repair up that palisade wall. She's quickly trying to throw as much lumber onto the fire in order to prevent them from advancing forward through it. Archer range. Oh crap, how did I miss this? We've got a massive scout rush there. Red has lost a villager. It's right now 24 villagers. Blue is repairing up this palisade wall there and being very successful at that. The archer range being flown out. Looks is going for skirmishers, but he's also lacking housing. Skirmishers can't be deployed out if there's not a house for them, even though your civilization's going to be on fire. And looks like now the archers are getting some good damage there on the villagers. Trying to go for a secondary wall via housing. You'll break down that palisade wall there to find out there's another wall already. Reds now push way forward. You have the skirmisher gain some arrows on, or spears into this area. Does quickly throw down the palisade wall there. Does quickly finish it off with the house. He actually does need a housing, so getting this extra housing would not hurt. The gold right now is being denied, and the skirmisher does get a kill there. But however, the skirmisher is getting overwhelmed by these forces. And we've got these scouts now falling them back. Right now, the villager count is in favor by Fort Blue by 1. So it looks like those scouts were going around doing a good job. Sorry, I missed some of that stuff. There's a dead scout there. And that's about it I can see from the corpses. And he does actually delete that house. He mostly probably could have kept the house around a little bit longer because he sort of does still need it. Not so much right now, but I suppose houses are pretty cheap. Scout receiving a bit of fire there, and now great arrows there onto that scout cavalry. Scout does avoid those additional spears there. You got a decent force here as well. Skirmishers will have trouble versus the various melee infantry units. The spearman, of course, has 0 pierce armor, but the man-at-arms does have 1. The spearman right now, they do have fletching, so it does get 3 damage, so 2 damage per spear, which is still not a significant amount. Man-at-arms now advancing on forward, trying to get some good hits here. They managed to close the gap there. A lot of these scouts are severely wounded as well. Luckily, he has a cheaper castle technology to throw them inside when he gets to the next age to get them healed up passively. Of course, that's not going to ever happen. Spears do get some damage there, but having a bit of trouble. Man-at-arms now taking the opportunity to charge on forward. Very nice. Man-at-arms are pulling back, avoiding spear fire, and not really being unsuccessful, but just get some good slices there. These forces are starting to patrol around. They're all severely wounded. Barring a couple units, and there's actually only 1 archer. Now just only a single archer that's not currently not wounded. But everything else is just a bit of a beating there, and there is a not a full wall off right there. Man-at-arms advancing forward. He actually destroys one of his own walls to get that villager through, trying to rebuild it quickly. Does not get a success fully built, only partially built there. Does take out one of the man-at-arms there. And the villager does actually skip out of there. Scout does finish off the archer, and the scout does get picked off by the scout. As the man-at-arms do manage to be killed off right there. The villager count is 38 to 38, so very similar. Blue scouts now advance forward, trying to get some good hits there. Archers receiving some town-centered arrow fire, as well as some skirmisher arrow spears. His forces starting to make their way forward or out. Hard to tell which way he's going to go. Red still has a good number of archers in this region. And let's say skirmishers will go and try to support his scouts, but the scout is receiving a bit too much fire there. Skirmishers now getting overwhelmed by these melee forces, but granted, spearmen and scouts not the highest damage units. Archers is pushing some fire there, avoiding all the skirmisher fire. One of them does go down there. And blue does back out of the game now. This is Adam Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Bit of a short replay. Greetings everyone, Adam Grade here for another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. On the bottom left side as the red Dravidians with maximum pleasure. On top left side as the blue Poles, we have Plintco. Let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses. The Poles, they are a cavalry civilization. Villagers regenerate regenerate health 10, 15, 20. in Feudal. Oh, starting Feudal Age, not in Dark Age though. So Dark Age rushes are not do not receive any sort of health regen. You can see by this wounded villager here. But either way, bulwarks replace the mill. Of course, guys get a bit of immediate food from the farms built next to them. Still manage to generate additional gold to their stone. Unique units of Oblique, which is an armor ripper unit, reduces the opponent's pierce melee armor and pierce armor per hit. Winged Hussar is a special Hussar variant. Unique text Sakhalat privileges. Knights cost 6 less gold, make them pretty close to trash units, not necessarily full trash units. And we've got the Lykic technology. Light Cavalry deals trample damage. Team bonus Scout Cavalry. Light Cavalry Hussars get +1 attack versus archers. For the red Dravinians bonuses, of course they are infantry and naval civilization. But I do see some units pushing forward. We may see a skirmish here, though these are all villagers getting chewed up by a lion. We got these man-at-arms here, maybe eyeing for defensive man-at-arms. Dravinians, infantry and naval civilization, receive +40 or +200 wood when facing next age. Fishermen and fishing ships carry +15, just +15. Barracks technologies cost 50% less. Siege weapons cost 30% less wood. Skirmishers and elephant archers attack 25% faster. Unique units are run by swordsmen, and the Fiskal, I don't know how to pronounce that, worship is not going to be important. Unit Tech, Medical Corps, Elephants units get +30 health regen per minute. And Wood Steel, infantry and cavalry attacks ignore armor. So you got one side of cavalry armor rippers, the other side just ignores the armor. Though the armor ripper does also affect pierce armor, so it's good for mixed force, while Wood Steel means, well, he's not fighting against Bulgarians for extra armor or the Teutons. So that benefit's probably relatively minimized, though it could add quite a bit of extra damage. Basically equivalent to like +3 damage if your opponent has all the armor upgrades. So your opponent could potentially just not get all the armor upgrades, maybe go them for early on, but not for later. You got these man-at-arms and Spearmen now advancing forward. They do avoid those villagers. But down south, we do have now a tower rush being pulled up by blue. It does get some villagers out, as well as a single archer to support the tower. Villager here will be cornered, and she will be stabbed. We also now have a tower being pulled out here as well. Doing a good job of body blocking there with that scout. Does scout that one lady. And now it's going to try to deal with the wood line. Right now, blue does have 27 villagers versus 27 opponent, but is slightly slower. And not to mention, he has less income thanks to this tower rush. So he does not deny his opponent his foray. House not being repaired on up. We got these villagers advancing forward, trying to stab these forces. It does get some good damage there. Starting to queue up the move orders, but still not great engagement there for these villagers. Now, there's a lot of villagers not collecting resources for blue. Looks like one of the villagers do go down. The spearman does go down. You may lose another villager there. Another villager goes down right there. She goes down as well. Blue's now down to 24 villagers, opponents to 30. Does have a full workable on the field, also collecting some foray. Man-at-arms still trying to slice apart this house, but that can be repaired on up. But blue still now fighting with a bit of handicap. So he's applied some great pressure to his opponent. In fact, even using villagers to try to stab down a house. House will slowly go on down. You got the man-at-arms still slicing apart this house here. Right now, it's sort of been a little bit the same thing going for both sides, though that blue does destroy the house, while red is having trouble destroying his opponent's house. And now we do have the blacksmith receiving a bit of arrow fire. He does load up this tower with archers, not villagers. He does need to throw one more archer in there to get the max amount of arrows. We do also now have another blue tower being pulled on out. The towers are not fighting each other, so he saw some great coverage there, and the blacksmith, that's fine if that takes damage. These man-at-arms are slowly being picked apart. This scout will gain some great hits there on that skirmisher. Does manage to kill off a man-at-arms there now. When these archers do go down, got these archers here. Blue's tower here does get some arrows there. Does deny this watchtower from being built. Now these villagers are going to make their advance. Got a handful of skirmishers to provide protection. Of course, they don't need protection money because they don't cost any sort of gold. It does manage to get some hits there on those archers, but this tower will go on up. And we'll find a good volley there. Takes out one of the archers as well as doing a bit of splash. Quote-unquote splash. So we got these two man-at-arms slicing apart that house, doing a constant little bit of economic damage to his opponent. Not only denying a whole villager from doing her job or his job, it also costs a little bit of resources to repair the house, but that's not too much. Up north, looks like the village being brought onto the line as well. Does lose one to a man-at-arms, and one man-at-arms does go down. This blue villager will need to fall back. The lady needs a little bit of health. You can get some from the town center and get some very, very slow health regen. But then again, blue has inherent health regen as poles. So I usually say that's a bit of a joke in order to say, oh, go throw these guys inside the town center, get a garrison to get some healing. Might as well get herbal medicine while at it. But in this case, he doesn't really need to do that because he actually has health regen for his villagers. So here it went from 9 to 10, and soon to be 11. And can you guys guess what's after 11? That's correct. 13. Just after 12 as well. Got a tower now up on the high ground. Very, very nice. And blue's going to claim his opponent's gold. Very nice. We also got a good number of skirmishers advancing forward, throwing some spears over the wood line. And now we do have the watchtower being pulled out. Oh, there's actually quite a bit of water up here. Well, not enough for a fishing trap. Well, there's enough room for a fishing trap. I don't think people will go for that. Blacksmith still seeing a bit of fire. Mills seeing some fire as well. Now blue is advancing forward with a large number of skirmishers. Red's trying to fall back. He does have his own defensive watchtower here, as well as here. And now we do have another watchtower plus here, but we may see an actual watchtower fight. Blue does have 4 villagers here, which I think is enough to get out. No, he does have fletching there, so 4 villagers will not be enough to get all 4 arrows firing. I think he needs to throw all 4 in there, as well as a single skirmisher to get his maxed out arrows. Now so I've got Red's now advanced forward with archers. And now do got Garrison inside of Red's tower here. He needs to get some guys inside the tower as well. You also got a defensive watchtower here as well. We may actually see some guard tower up research. Essentially, what am I saying? Nobody ever goes for next line. It goes what? Watchtower to guard tower to keep, right? You have 4 archers inside this tower here, but only fires 3 arrows, not the full 4. Red also has fletching research. It looks like the tower has gone down, and now these guys will rush forward and to their doom, not paying attention to the garrison. Skirmishers advancing forward. Wall is about to go down as well. Skirmishers do have the high ground there. He does save the wall with 10 health remaining. Rolls a couple of misses there with his spears. Does get a hit there. As well as right there as well. Does get one of the archers. Very nice. Lion getting some good damage there on the archer. And the archer's down to 2 health. The lion may actually secure a kill. And the lion gets the kill. And when's the last time you actually see a lion actually get a kill on something? Wolves and villagers tend to be equal until you get Loom. And so that's the first time in a long time since I've seen any sort of wild animal actually get a kill. That shows you, lions are greater than the archer. Skirmisher's trying to come back over here. He can pass Garrison inside the tower to get some health regen, but they're going to get annihilated by these crossbowmen. Do have crossbowmen. Red has gone for Castle Age. Blues has his Castle Age on the way. Crossbowman has the Bodkin Arrow Research, so they have 7 attack, 7 range. Skirmishers, I didn't click on them in time, but you can see the health regen actually paying dividends. That's not really.
Offset.
And right now, skirmishers do have 5 range and 3 attack, though they do get some bonus damage there. And now we got Armored Elephant ready to smash his head against these towers. It is, of course, the replacement for the battering ram. And the skirmishers are going to be very inadequate versus the Armored Elephant. It has 140 pierce armor. And the skirmishers have 3 attack. They're just glad they can do at least 1 damage per hit. Now got this line advancing forward. They should be able to stab the Armored Elephants quite good, but there's too many crossbowmen for them to advance. There's 17 crossbowmen in the region. And looks like Blue's going for some Mangonel. Both players have reached Castle Age, but looks like neither player has an extra town center just yet. Skirmishers do find a good volley there. More Armored Elephants on the build queue. Trying to deal with these Armored Elephants now. They're seeing a bit of damage there. Mangonel does get a good hit on his own knight, as well as onto these Armored Elephants now. Now the Armored Elephants trying to pursue this Mangonel, and they are, of course, anti-siege weapons, and they do get the kill there on the Mangonel. While they're severely wounded, they have more than plenty of health to take on that watchtower. Can Armored Elephants be healed up by villagers, or did they get healed up by monks? Now I can't remember that. Can't remember. Either way, the tower has gone down. This tower is slowly being picked apart thanks to the lack of murder holes by a 1 health man-at-arms. And looks like these villagers are abandoning that region. Red will force Red out of that region. Now we've got all these villagers advancing on forward. It looks like Blue managed to steal about 300 gold plus 328 gold from that gold mine. Nothing too significant. Now these villagers are facing forward, and not so sure what they're going to set on up. Blue, let's switch over to Blue. I think he has a castle somewhere in this region, and there's a castle right there. And now this infrastructure is already cleaned up. There's a lot of Armored Elephants there. It does take out the lion. Does Red have spot this? The scaffolding should be in range. I think there's a scaffolding there. And he sees the health bar going up. He may have trouble seeing at it. It's a very, very small blue dot there. And of course, he's dealing with a lot of blue dots around his base. He may not realize there's a castle being built up right there. Let's see what Red's looking at. I'm doing view lock at the moment, but it looks like it's not doing anything proper. So I feel like maybe that's broken for him. Blue's castle now trying to go, it's almost complete. He's definitely selecting his crossbow and his Mangonels. He's selecting through a lot of his units, but I didn't lock the camera. If I turn on Fog of War, it will lock the camera. No, it does not. So I can't see what he's looking at currently, but I'm curious of how real quickly he saw that castle going up. Do not have a town center being put out here as well. He's trying to claim the stone. Got good no crossbow here, and there's still no counter to these Armored Elephants that are going to be hitting that castle. Armored Elephants cannot be garrisoned like battering rams. But there are slight differences between the battering ram and the Armored Elephant. Villagers now trying to repair up the castle, but it's not exactly a great engagement for them. We do have some Oblique here, but Oblique does immediately go down to those crossbowmen. Crossbowmen is now seeing quite a bit of archer fire. Villagers are He has plenty of stone at the moment. Red has no stone at the moment. And here comes the Oblique. They will of course start ripping apart these elephants' armor, but don't add negative armor. But at least they are melee units. Obliques do build relatively quickly as well. And this castle, I believe, will be saved. Over here, we've got these villagers shanking a Mangonel, wondering why they can't just kill the crew and they're playing the weapon for themselves. But then they have to realize the fact there is no crew, and it's a ghost crew, and they should really run away because they're dealing with ghosts. You now have a castle here defensively. Blue just going to throw his Oblique inside the garrison, which will be a great way to store them and get some health regen. We also got a very, very large number of towers here. Blue's monk will not catch the rocks, but will catch a bunch of arrows. And I don't see a lot of defense here. Do we see... We do not see murder holes either. So these towers could be engaged at point blank range. We do also now have a defensive tower in the middle of his town. In the middle of his town right there. A number of these palisade walls being destroyed. Or scuttled, more like. There are 26 archers, 1 Mangonel to support them. What does Blue have for an army? He's cutting his opponent's stone right there. We have still just the 4 Oblique inside that castle. And now the palisade wall will go down. One of this wall segments down to 2 health as well. Town center here has 6 range. The crossbowmen have 7 range. So the crossbowmen can outrange a town center. Some of these villagers aren't going down. Blue's losing a large number of villagers here. Blue has 90 villagers, opponent has 93. Of course, I have the castle here. Farm does go down. Castle does find a brief burst there onto the crossbowman. And the Mangonel is going to be slowly sieging down the town center now. Oh, that's a lot of armored elephants. Where's the Oblique? Blue's not paying attention over here. Can't, there's what Blue's looking at. He's not realizing, oh, there's a bunch of stuff there. He now finally gets his Oblique out of the castle. And he's not engaging the armored elephants with those Oblique. This double-pronged assault's Blue's having trouble defeating this double-pronged assault. We've got a large number of armored elephants here. And these towns our villagers are heading back on home while being munched on by a lion. Monk does go and take the relic away from the red monk. And unless these crossmen are going to be hunting down that monk. Got some of these houses going down. It does take out the monk. They relax back there. Sorry about that. I got the Obliques engaging these armor elephants. But the crossbowmen here to support as well, taking out the Oblique. Red's monk will go and claim that relic. Red has 1 relic, Blue has 2 relics. Last remaining relic on the field is on the far right. Blue has not scouted it. Red likely won't have scouted it either. Nope, he has not claimed it. Though he is actually moving to that sector. And he will go ahead and find that relic there with a monk. Over here, got this Blue Mangonel getting some damage onto this housing. I do now have another defensive castle. Blue, stealing a lot of his opponent's stone in the front line, does net him a lot of extra castles. And a lot of defenses in general. Red now has Imperial Age on the build queue. Very nice. Blue has Imperial Age on the build queue as well. Villager count is right now in favor of Blue, 117 to 110. And the army elephants are advancing forward. He does have a good number of Obliques here, but the problem is there's a lot of crossbowmen here to hit them. Villagers now trying to repair up the castle. He's a good follows here. Crossbowmen receiving a bit of fire from that castle. castle. Obliques getting some damage there on the armor elephants. They may want to hold off the Obliques until the castle whittles away more of the crossbowmen. Something being picked on off there, but does not have ballistics just yet. And none of these guys are getting hit quite severely. Does manage to get in the minimum range of all of his guys at the moment. But right now he could use is perhaps a whole bunch of Hussars and or Knights. Currently blue is at pop cap, and losing that castle does put him more in pop cap. Armored elephants now advancing forward, trying to deal with these towers. And the crossbows can brave the watchtower fire. They're just only watchtowers. Do only have 6 attack, and the armor elephants do take out one of the watchtowers. Obliques now getting ripped apart by these crossbowmen. Notice the armor elephants will go down. It looks like red doesn't have ballistics, does he? Blue now has his Imperial Age. Red does actually have ballistics there, so a lot of those arrows are just randomly missing. Maybe just got as well. And Red is now transitioned to a large number of longbowmen and has the 2-handed swordsman upgrade as well, being Arbalest and Bracer as well. He is vying for infantry-based composition. Got barracks and siege workshop being pulled on out. Blue needs to get something else than Obliques, because the Obliques are not going to be very useful for crossbowmen. Not going for some cavalry upgrades. He needs to get out some good winged hussars. Armor elephants are making their way forward, trying to deal with that watchtower. And the Obliques are going to be coming forward, trying to deal with these elephants. Watchtower, of course, going down. Got 2-handed swords now being pulled on out as well. Obliques are seeing quite a bit of fire right there. And there is, of course, the Arbalest upgrade as well. Arbalest right now have 8 range, 9 attack. 2-handed sword is now charging forward. It's not looking good for blue. Got a huge wave of knights on the build queue. He needs an even larger number as well. He needed them a long time ago. We now have a forward monster deployed by Red, and do now have the siege elephant upgrade. Castle does find some good hits there onto those long swordsmen. And we got these knights now advancing forward, trying to overrun these arbalists. Just got a couple of those 2-handed swordsmen. Knights get ripped apart by the Arbalest thanks to the high ground as was good stomach step there. That moving around he did there also interrupts their target priority, getting to dance around and spread out his damage a little bit more. Having this monk in the front line is going to be very useful getting healed up by all these guys. He also can heal up the siege elephants with those monks. There's that question answered. Blue's now advancing forward to some siege elephants, but there's already halberdiers here. Cavaliers already go down, try to go for convert while at it. Obliques now advancing forward, trying to deal with these halberdiers. We do also have a monk trying to go for conversion there. Not sure if it was successful. Cavaliers trying to deal with these Arbalists and doing some good damage there, but they're just still going down enough of them. We do got Cavalry here, that must have been the unit that got converted. Blue has one out versus those Halberdiers. We got more Halberdiers now pushing way forward. Halberdiers pushing way forward. Got the Obliques getting some good damage on in. His Obliques getting some good damage down the Halberdiers. The Halberdiers are starting to be picked off one at a time. Got these Halberdiers advancing forward, trying to deal some damage to the bulwark. And got a big wave of Obliques now pushing forward. This is not going to just go for any sort of 2-handed swordsman, just going for Obliques. Oh, I just realized something as well. These Cavaliers decide to run straight into his opponent's base, which does draw quite a bit of attention from Red. Red has currently less villagers, 137 to 143. Obliques now advancing forward. We got these Obliques now getting some good damage there on the Cavalier. But of course, there's too many Arbaleths for these Obliques to do much work. Obliques do go down right there. Blue's deciding to build out more and more Cavaliers, going for Masonry as well as crop rotation. Cavaliers now making their way along the flank. Got the stone mine being collected as well, so Blue has a small, steady supply of stone. Armored Elephants advance forward with the support of Arbaleths and Halberdiers. Got a handful of Oblique and Cavaliers in this region, as well as some Trebuchets on the build queue. Cavaliers have hit some kills there on the villagers. Obliques and Cavaliers advancing forward, but of course it's fighting against Cavaliers against Halberdiers. Trebuchet has been pulling out on the field, which could be very useful. Armored Elephant does almost go down there, down to 7 health. Takes out the Siege Elephant there. Blue has 150 villagers versus opponent's just 37. Those Cavaliers are still in this region, picking off reinforcements, which is actually very important. And now Red's going for champions. Do now looks at the Hoardings upgrade, which of course allows this castle to get, what, 33% more health? Or was that 1,000 more health? Which I think they're generally the same. Champion's now advancing forward. May receive a good hit there from these cavalrymen. He probably has Wolf Steel research. Hard to say because these guys are getting overwhelmed. Halberdiers may get shanked to death by these villagers. Does take out one of the villagers in return. Unless Cluj signed for a mass army. We got a good number of champions across Alvarez and pikemen in this region. Does have a couple of armored elephants in reserve. And getting some of these guys healed up. Very nice. Trebuchet's making his way forward, trying to get set on up to engage. Looks like perhaps the barracks. And the Oblique will go and engage those Halberdiers. Cavaliers now advance forward, trying to deal with these Arbaleths. Halberdiers trying to deal with the Cavaliers. It does get some great hits there onto these Arbaleths there. Most of the Cavaliers getting distracted by the Halberdiers, and we got, of course, the Obliques now finishing out the Halberdiers now. Cavaliers having a bit of trouble. One does get converted. Another wave of Cavaliers pushing way over here. But overall, this force is just having trouble with so many of these Arbaleths. Right now, at this point in time, he may just want to get out some Mangonels. Because his opponent's current composition is relatively bit vulnerable to Mangonels, Halberdiers, and Arbaleths. Both sides just streaming into a big engagement, constant engagement here. Cavaliers and Obliques now advancing forward. And it looks like Red is losing missing a bit of a front line, not getting enough Halberdiers here. Blue needs to take time to get reinforcements. And now got a big wave of light cavalry being pulled out. Should have the Winged Hussars upgrade relatively soon. Needs force advancing forward. Light cavalry needs to start pushing forward as well. Let's get the armored elephants. Armored elephants will not last very long. Cavaliers need some great damage on in. And also, light cavalry can also get the trample upgrade, right? Light cavalry deals trample damage. So it needs to get a bit more of them. That could do great work versus these Halberdiers. Obliques now start to make their way forward. Light cavalry advancing forward as well. Do we see the trample damage? Let's see. And it looks like he does not have the trample damage upgrade just yet. Got the wing. I think that's the Winged Hussar upgrade. Now he has this Winged Hussar upgrade. Though, needs a bit more of them. Try and advance forward, try and get some good damage on these forces. And still does not have the trample damage upgrade, does he? And now Blue's going for ballistics, and that's it. Now Q with a lot of stuff. He had delayed Q there, and now severely lacking any sort of military presence. Trying to build out anything and everything. Castle does get cancelled there. That claw would instantly destroy that castle. Now he has a big wave of halberdiers advancing forward, but look, the castle's here to protect. More and more the cavalry start being pulled out. Red still, he's missing a lot of food. He needs more food at the moment. He has plenty of wood at the moment, as a small reserve of stone. But right now he needs to get more guys and food potentially. Arbalest getting some great hits there. These overlook are just trying to stall off the time at the current rate. And now he's finally going for his light cavalry trample damage. This is going to be very important against this force. We do now have a bombard being pulled out. That should be very effective for those trebuchets. And the villager does go and catch the cannonball. And those cavaliers are getting annihilated. Oblique is trying to engage the crossbowman now. Light cavalry or the winged hussars and the cavaliers are advanced forward. Now has the trample damage upgrade for his light cavalry. And now got these sea fence receiving a bit of fire from these cavaliers. Got now these cavaliers getting overwhelmed by this pikemen, halberdiers. Villagers are being garrisoned inside the tower as well. That'll help increase his arrow count, but there's now 3 bombard cannons here, which does we need to fix on out. We got all these cavalry advancing forward. Looks like cavalry is having trouble getting the splash damage in. They don't look like they actually getting the splash damage in whatsoever. Maybe mistaken about that. Another mass wave of hussars being deployed now. He has a massive number of stables. Goodness there on the barracks. Light cavalry advancing forward, trying to overwhelm these arbalists. He needs to also pick up those bombards. How this castle's only going to holding back the infantry and the archers. Trying to overwhelm these bombards. Let's lose all those light cavalry. Looks like all the bombards have gone down. That does save his castle, which is very important. More cavaliers and winged hussars advancing forward. Trying to get as much damage on these forces as best as he can. Yeah, it does not appear that the trample damage is actually not working properly. Unless it only applies to light cavalry, not the winged hussars, which would be very stupid. Okay, so good engagements there. More of the winged hussars being employed now. Blue has broken his opponent's contain. If you take a look at resources, Blue has a mass reserve of wood. Red has a mass reserve of food. Small reserve of gold. So Blue may want to get some more guys onto farms away from this wood line. Looks like this gold mine is trying to be claimed and being secured by this castle here. Barracks now seeing quite a bit of fire right there. And all those front lines starting to be short on out. The 2 bombards inside of it does get de-garrisoned. Could be quickly overran. Over here, we got the cavalry being taken on out. Got Blue now trying to go through their stone walls. A handful of stone walls deployed out in this region. In fact, Red has deployed out a lot of stone walls. Blue's taking time to claim multiple gold mines. Very nice. Cavaliers now getting overwhelmed by these winged hussars. Very nice. The castle gate is open. He fast streams some forces in there. Got more of these pikemen being pulled out as a result of the counter to these winged hussars as well as cavaliers. And Blue's now pushed forward with a massive wave of trebuchets, getting some great damage there. A little bit overkill on that trebuchet now. Red's now pushing forward out of the gate. We'll see quite a bit of fire there. The gates now receive quite a bit of damage. And now it is locked, preventing his forces from going on in there. And that barracks does go down, breaking an opening for Blue to advance on forward. He has enough trebuchets to go in and one-shot these buildings, one at a time. And the instructions will going down. Got a big wave of now champions being pulled on out. The Hussars currently have 3 pierced armor, so if you have bold steel, that won't really accomplish all too much. Nice, but won't accomplish all too much. Another massive wave of stone walls being pulled out, but this gate should go down quite quickly. We also now have a siege workshop here, trying to go for some battery rams, but having trouble to use that pop cap. He's now trying to pull out some more defensive housing in order to close up the gap, but he was unsuccessful. His force can advance on forward, start streaming on in. Looks like these Cavaliers are starting to get ripped apart. Argos getting some great damage on, as well as the champions ruined the movement. Let's see what Red's going for, because Blue's just going for a whole bunch of winged hussars. Red's going for a massive wave of not only halberdiers and champions, we also got a massive wave of villagers, because right now he's down to 59 villagers. Not a whole lot compared to his opponent's 131. He does have a pretty good reserve of food at the moment, but not a lot of gold, as well as definitely not stone. Battery Ram now poking some walls, holes in these walls. The fortified wall is not receiving armor reduction. Got these horsemen advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on these structures, which he is. More of these winged hussars now breaking through his opponent's town center. And now he's going to let loose. He made a move order and let them move, and now they're going to be hitting everything nearby. Trebuchets advancing forward. Got a good number of winged hussars in this region, trying to break down through this blacksmith. As it's being repaired on up, these trebuchets completely take that out. So we got a handful of bombard cannons hitting the castle now. And now this blacksmith will go ahead and go on down. Over here, looks like the winged hussars getting some great hits on his villagers. Red's now down to 48 villagers. This is not looking good for Red. He does have a decent reserve of food, but that's about it. Not a lot of stone, no wood income to really speak of. And now his farms are going to be running dry. The fact there's a lack of wood for him to reseed with. These forces advancing on forward. Winged hussars breaking through the line, Oogly cleaning out the defenders. And now the winged hussars are going to just move straight into his opponent's town and trying to get some more villager kills. You have, of course, this castle here. That'd be a great target to hit these villagers with. Oogly's now engaging the halberdiers. And it looks like Red goes ahead and backed out of the game. This is Adam Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And before I start the next replay, I do need a quick take a quick restroom break, so I'll be right back. My apologies. And I'm back. My apologies. Sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. So, we got the Britons versus the Aztecs. Time old enemies, right? Oh no, that's the Spanish. Greetings everyone, and great here for another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the top right side as the red Britons, we have Joseph. Spawn on the bottom left side, or just the left side as the blue Aztecs, we have Colibri. Let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses. The Aztecs, they are infantry and monk civilization. Villagers get +3 carrying capacity, which is not really too significant, but nice to have. Military units get trained 11% faster, which actually is quite nice. You need to spend less in wood on production infrastructures. Monks get +5 hit points per monastery technology, which you have access to all of them. Sword +50 gold, very nice. Unique unit, Jaguar Warrior, which is an anti-infantry unit. Unique text, Outlato, skirmishers get +1 attack and +1 range. Very good versus archer civilizations, such as the Britons, who are the premier archer civilization. And of course, we've got Garland Warriors, +4 attack on infantry, for infantry, which includes the Spearmen and the Halberdiers. Very important indeed. Team bonus, relics generate 33+ gold, which actually is a useful team bonus. Here we've got the Eagle Scout advancing forward. We do now have Militia Rush that can be applied by red. And while we watch that Militia Rush, let's go into cover red civilization bonuses. Britons, I'm going to say the premier foot archer civilization. Town sources cost 50% less wood in starting Castle Age, which means that also prevents sort of interactions of where you delete a town center to rebuild it somewhere. That's why it starts in Castle Age. Foot archers, except skirmishers, get +1 range in Castle Imperial, so it includes the longbowmen and the archer line. Shepherds work 25% faster. Longbowmen, unique unit. The long-range archer unit, everybody knows what that is. It's a fan favorite. And very easy for new players to get in with. It's a very solid, general purpose, good unit. It has really good range. What more could you want for a beginner? Unique text, Yeoman, +1 foot archer range, +2 tower attack. And I believe that does also apply to skirmishers as well, since it does not exclude skirmishers. I didn't have time to cover the replay. That must have been a bit of a rage quit. Nope, on to the next replay. Like, that was just... that was far too early. Next replay. That was not a good replay. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the left side as the red Poles, we have Multi Morbid. Spawn on the bottom right side as the green Mongols, we have Conrad M87. Oh, maybe it was Conrad Mate 7. 87? I have no idea. This music, I haven't heard this music before. I guess something unique to this map. You don't really see this map all too often, do you? The Poles, let's go over each player's civilization bonuses now. Of course, the Poles, they are cavalry civilization. Villagers gain health regen, starting feudal age. Bulwarks replace the mill, stone miners generate additional gold to their stone, so you can go straight for stone camp mines and get a little bit of gold along with it. Unique tech units is Oblique, armor ripper infantry unit, and Wing Hussar replaces the Hussar technology. Unique tech, the Sakala privileges, knights cost 6 less gold, very nice. And Light Kick Legacy, light cavalry deals trample damage. Team bonuses, Scout, Light Cavalry, and Hussars get +1 attack versus archers, so they're better as a counter unit to archers. Very nice indeed. The Green Mongols, one of the fan favorite civilizations, and the current civilization I play a lot in Age of Empires 4, and I've been trying to get better at playing Age of Empires 4 online. Mongols, cavalry archers fire 25% faster. Light Cavalry Hussars Step Lancers get +30% hit points. Hunters work 40% faster. Unique unit Magnite is a anti-siege cavalry archer. In Age of Empires 4, they are the cavalry archer that fires while moving. Nomads. Houses do not decrease population headroom. Drill. Siege workshop units will move 50% faster, which actually is quite significant. Team bonus. Scout Cavalry, Light Cavalry, and Hussars get +2 line sight, so you have really good scouts. So you should know where your opponent is at all times. Just look at that scout range. Very good indeed. Let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit. There's a scout there. Green scout's coming on in. There's a bit of a wall there. Green scout will spot a bit of everything. Very, very nice. And now we do have a militia rush being pulled up by the Mongols. And decide in Age of Empires 4, you get early horsemen, which are not really that useful, honestly. They're far too expensive Age of Empires 4. Side note as well, I'm thinking about streaming some Age of Empires 4 and 1v1 games with me playing. Because I want to get better with Age of Empires 4. Enough of that, you guys here for Age of Empires 2. Now we've got the man-at-arms gauging on in, get some great damage to those villagers. He does go ahead and pin that one up to the logs. And this villager will receive a bit of fire as well. It does take out a villager there, very nice. And now do got some good damage there onto this villager as well. Does get some arrows fired against that scout. And now this scout will be falling back, or maybe not. Do have these man-at-arms advancing forward. And you may hear my drink opening. Sorry about that. I finish off my can of caffeine, now going for the other drink. Man-at-arms still have full health. Scout received a little bit damage, but overall this is going to be great aggression by the Mongol. Currently he has 23, 24 villagers to 22, so he does have a 2 villager advantage. Very, very nice. We do now have the archer range being employed on out, as well as a handful of wall segments. Looks like these units are still moving around, not getting any good engagements on in, and he is going to start putting some pressure on the bulwark. These palisade walls have been slightly built, so you can't pass over them, and now the man-at-arms are just going to be slicing apart this bulwark there. I'm just fast forward a little bit, and we've got a handful of scouts being pulled out by Red, trying to engage these man-at-arms there. And now we do have 6 attack. Scout cavalry has 5 attack. Neither side has armor. Keeping that scout cavalry alive is actually quite important for green. That is, the scout cavalry can do some auto scouting, which can be very nice indeed. I really wish they would make that ability a bit more turn across multiple units, or ability to get it. It's just very nice to have an auto scout. I'm just gonna say it. Having an auto scout to just do the scouting for you is just nice to have. We now have a couple spearmen deployed out with these man-at-arms. And more of these spearmen are advancing on forward. You have these scouts now advancing on forward. We do got a handful of spearmen here. And this scout is a little bit wounded. You have a handful of skirmishers here, but these fighting against things that not skirmishers going to be very effective. The man-at-arms currently have 1 pierce armor. The skirmishers does not have is a flushing. Green just got his flushing, not red. Let's see what red gets his flushing yet. Looks like not just yet. And so these skirmishers will only do 1 damage per spear against these man-at-arms. Spearmen have no armor, and plus I think skirmishers do a little bit extra bonus damage for spearmen. And we also now have these archers advancing forward, so the skirmishers are going to be very useful. Does get a good volley there on that villager, 2 good volleys. 3rd partial volley there as well. Got these forces, 9 units, 6 skirmishers, 3 scouts. Trying to get some good arrow hits there. Good to stay on those man-at-arms. Very, very good. Skirmishers trying to engage these scouts as and these scouts will go ahead and fall on back. We've still got these archers and men-at-arms in this region. This man-at-arms could rush on forward, draw some fire for the archers. Remember, the skirmishers do now have their fletching upgrade, and these man-at-arms do not have any pierce armor, additional pierce armor upgrade, so they will receive now 2 damage per spear. And does get a slice there and goes down with a bunch of spears to his back. We got a handful of scouts maybe trying to push his way forward.
Owszem. Do waszych usług.
Over here, we got these spearmen sort of moving around. Does receive a bit of damage there from something. Or maybe they actually, no, they just stabbed the barracks for a brief moment. That was that dun-dun sound, because I'm expecting red at the moment. Let's get the kill there on one of those villagers. We do have this villager now receiving a bit of fire from these archers.
Do waszych usług.
Let's take out one of the skirmishers there. Got these other skirmishers advancing forward. Does throw some spears, roll some misses.
Jakieś rozkazania?
And oh, one of those looks like the skirmisher's trying to go off the map, but he's failing at it. Realizing this is the edge world. This world is not round, but a flat world.
Owszem.
And as long as 2 people alive, somebody wants somebody dead.
Do waszych usług.
And now that skirmisher's going to be back on off, trying to avoid the spearmen. Bit of fire there from town center as well.
Do waszych
As well
usług.
from some spears. Got these skirmishers advancing down the south. Got now a marker being pulled out by red. So it's a good number of archers here, but right now the skirmishers are too plentiful. He could pull back these archers for defensive reasons. Maybe try to stall out for Castle Wage into crossbowmen and fletching. He does not have Castle Wage in the build queue just yet, but he is storing quite a bit of food up now. You hear a marker now deploy down the field. Yes, very nice. No, that was green. Oh no, I have red selected. Red is not currently deploying out anything at the moment. Green has, oh, Castle Wage almost fully completed. Soon we'll have Fletching and Bodkin Arrow deployed on out. Red is just stop all villager production, trying to eye for his Castle Wage immediately. And now there's going to be a big window for Green to get some good work done for some technology. Primarily getting Crossbowman, Bodkin Arrow. In which we see neither of those. Huh. Interesting. He's going for a whole bunch of Step Lancers. Is he going to fool his opponent to go for more of a counter of these archers? He sees Castle Wage drop. He should expect Bodkin Arrow and Crossbowmen. The fact he doesn't see that makes me believe that he's juking out his opponent with technology? Is that a thing? Is that a fate? We've now got Step Lancers advancing forward. And now the Step Lancers, of course, are a good counter to these skirmishers. Palisades walls do complete right there. Doesn't need breakthrough there. Archers now firing some arrows there. Still no Bodkin Arrow nor crossbow research. And now there's a massive wave of Step Lancers deployed on the field. Let's see. His opponent's going for Castle Wage, of course. But has nothing else to be on the build queue. No military units, no nothing. Step Lancers, they have 2 pierce armor at the moment, so these skirmishers will only do 1 damage each. And they're going to be stabbing down that palisade wall and will start stabbing down these skirmishers. And they should do reasonably well. They also have less likely to get bugged out due to pathing issues with the fact that since they have 1 range, they can reach a little bit easier to the target, so you can't sort of dance your units around and avoid fire. Castle Wage, these Step Lancers are pushing forward. Red now has Castle Wage, and he is forcing a panic castle, a very defensive castle. He does not like the fact that there's so many Step Lancers here. Let's take out that palisade wall there. These Step Lancers are now advancing on forward. And if go ahead and get these Step Lancers through, trying to get some good hits there on these villagers. He does get this castle built. And so now red has a good solid point there. I do love how circled this area is, but it's also a really small circle, which is going to pose a bit of problem. He is going for a town center here. The 4A here still can be collected. Has only one full work, or no, there's 2 full works here. And right now, red does have less villagers, 49 to 42, which is very important. Does get a second castle immediately deployed out as well. Green has also deployed out a handful of camels to engage his opponent. Remember, the Poles are more of a cavalry civilization, so these camels can be quite reasonable. Can you get heavy camels? I'm not sure what the Mongols can deploy out. You can get heavy camels. It's actually not a lot of civilization can get camels, but not heavy camels. Though I could be mistaken about that entirely, though, so don't listen to me. So we got a Steppe Lancer Camel Force being pulled out. We got some Oblique. The Steppe Lancer should do reasonably well. The Obliques don't have a whole lot of armor from the Rift, so their effects are going to be very minimal. Other the fact that they are very quick unit to build. Bulwark looks like will go down. Will allow the Steppe Lancer to start pillaging. Doing what the Mongols do best. And there we go. Bulwark's now down. He's starting advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on these forces. Obliques are going to quickly get overwhelmed by all these Steppe Lancers. These Obliques starting to get healed on up. This farm is out of wood, so red is low on wood, low on food, has plenty of gold, and now we've got cavalry archers being put up by green. Stable now receiving some fire from these Steppe Lancers. I hear a monk trying to go for conversion. Oh, that's just a camel there. I don't know why it seemed like it was a weird movement there. Red is sort of just pinned here at the moment. He's trying to go for more housing walls. A small little pile of stone prevents forces from walking over it. They're not goats. However, he even got a couple stone walls here. Now the Steppe Lancers are breaking through. It does get some monks here. They may get one conversion off. I'm not sure what got converted. It was a Steppe Lancer right here, but he will be stabbed for his heresy. And now these Steppe Lancers are now pushing on the end, getting some great damage here. This town center of Swallow is going to be completely full. Now Steppe Lancers are pushing way forward. Does have to avoid the castle there. He doesn't have anything to deal with the castle just yet, other than point-blank melee range, which actually can be reasonably effective. Town center's arrows now firing all around. Steppe Lancers only have 2 pierce armor. They can't exactly withstand a lot of town center arrows, let alone castle arrows. But now, remember, there's so many villagers inside these town centers. He's not collecting a lot of resources. In fact, he is still lacking food. He is not building a lot of villagers whatsoever. He does have a bit of a small queue going on, so he's not losing villager count just yet, but he's at 52, his bonus at 81. I was trying to repair that wall. We do have, looks like these Steppe Lancers trying to push their way forward. They can't stab through trees. Now I've got some cavalry archers advancing forward as well. We've got these cavalry archers getting some hits there. Obliques getting some swipes onto these cavalry archers, but they haven't. Oh, I don't think they actually have any armor from them to actually rip off. Go to this one here. That's definitely not receiving Oblique fire. You have to add 0/0 armor at the moment, so they will receive quite a bit of damage, as well as bonus damage, and that one get double shotted collateral damage from the town center. Okay, that's the wrong game for that. Let's go throw the skirmishers and all the villagers there. Steppe Lancers are just standing there menacingly. And right now the game is in Green's hand. He's doing a great job. Monk does get a conversion there. And he gets the higher health cavalry archer as well, so it may kill off his buddy. That's where you get Blooda. That was a stupid joke. That's from the Mongol campaign. Oh, and Green's archers are actually still alive. The ones I mentioned beforehand that could have been a distraction from the Steppe Lancer play. It was a really small distraction. Don't think it's really prepared all too well for the crossbow force, so it wasn't exactly that great of a distraction. It does claim itself a camel. A funny looking horse. And now we've got this castle being put on the high ground. Should be able to get some great damage there. Castle's been built. I never really liked the Mongol art style. They use the Chinese art style, which I suppose they did conquer China, but they're not really based in China. We do have another lumber camp being built, and does go and start claiming all that wood. We got all these step lancers here. These has 11 step lancers. A couple of them are quite wounded. Could throw them inside the castle for some healing. One of these days, people are actually going to do that. And now we do have the walls being reinforced with stone, which are much more sturdier than houses. We do have now another council being put out by the Mongols. Red is doing a single line of villagers. He does have a bit of food there. He may be eyeing for Imperial Age at this moment. His opponent is going for Imperial Age now. The game is in Green's hands right now. Red could go for trebuchets once he gets his own pure age, but he's pretty far from that. So right now, Green will have to use his potential trebuchets to deal with his opponent. We also got ballistics here. He may be eyeing for some Magadai and or cavalry archers. And these archers have an upgraded Bodkin arrow, just no crossbows. I sort of find that amusing. He has Bodkin arrow, but no crossbows. It's just weird. Is that weird? I think that's weird. By the way, we do got now the step lancers advancing on forward. Cavalry Rider doesn't get any slices there, but does claim himself a free step lancer. Castle's still firing away, but not hitting anything too important. That lumber camp's not that useful. In fact, it'll probably be worse if he starts harvesting more lumber there, because that'll leave him a big hole for him to cover. Of course, there is a hole here. We do now have, looks like the light cavalry upgrade being deployed out by Green. Let's see what Red's going for. He's Imperial Age now, as with a couple villagers queued up after it. Red still has a severely lack of villagers, 60 to 115. Green's going to just have to take time to crack over his opponent. He can go nice and slow. Gaunt's trebuchets is a nice, good option. Let's see. Lithuanians can get bombard cannons, as well as siege engineers. The Mongols cannot get bombard cannons, but can get siege engineers. Why I'm putting emphasis on bombard cannons is so Red can pull out some bombards to take on these trebuchets once he gets to the next stage, and then research chemistry. Oh, that's not going to be a long. That's going to take a long time. Cam will start charging and trying to gauge that light cavalry there. We've got these sub-lancers facing forward. The Oblique is now pushing way forward. The Oblique will quickly report the armor of those step lancers, no problem. And now we've got the Red's trebuchet. Red's castle getting hit significantly by Green's trebuchet. Green's going for another castle here. We've got Red's going for a castle right next to it, trying to wall off the little region there with the house. And we'll finish off that wall off of a palisade wall. We, of course, can't go around. The house now producing quite a bit of fire there. Green will get his castle up. Got the town center firing some arrows as well. Got some now Mag and Dies now put on the field as well. Green's starting to overwhelm these various Oblique right there. And Red's castle is not fully built and far from being complete. Green's castle's getting some great damage there, quickly ripping apart all those villagers, and Red does back out the game now. This is Andgrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And here we go, Vietnamese versus Persians. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the bottom right side. Oh, that seems a lot of more sheep than normal. So on the bottom right side, as the Red Vietnamese, we have Richard Rao. He speaks for the trees. So on the left side, as the Blue Persians, we have Pato Sharik. Sharik? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses. And I hear scouts stabbing each other. Oh, wait a second. Wait, there's two scouts? Did both players have two scouts? Okay, this must be something special property of this map. There's two scouts. Because there's a lot of sheep and extra scouts. There's also water along the edges, but you have to mine trees to get to the fishes. Interesting. Okay, there's something special about this map. I'm not really familiar with this map. But let's cover each player's civilization bonuses. The Vietnamese, of course, they are archer civilization. Any positions are revealed at the start of the game, which can be quite nice. So you can do less scouting to get an idea where to start raiding your opponent. Economic upgrades cost no wood, which actually is very nice. Never hurts to have less cost for your upgrades, which tend to be a bit costly sometimes. Archer range units gets plus 20% HP, which is very useful, not for the archers in my opinion, but more for the skirmishers. Of course, their team bonus is much more important for that as well, but more on that later. Unique tech, Rattan Archer, which I believe is an anti-archer archer? I can't remember off the top of my head. And Pure Skirmisher. Unique unit, Chachras. Battle Elephant gets plus 100 HP. Paper Money, Lumberjacks slowly generate gold addition to wood. Very nice in trash state. And team bonus, Imperial Skirmishers upgrade available in the Imperial Age, which means your skirmisher elite skirmishers will have very, very good amount of health. The Persians, they of course a cavalry civilization, start with plus 50 wood and food. Town center. Oh, we also got a militia stabbing that scout there. Interesting. We've got these now scouts and militia member advancing forward. We'll find blues militia as well. Councilors and dogs get twice the amount of hit points and work rate, plus 10, 20, 50, and work rate. That really should be in its other next line, giving plus 10, 15, and 20% in each age. Unique unit is the War Elephant, the original Elephant. Unique tax, Kamadaran Archer line costs replace the gold cost with additional wood cost, so it makes the Archer, which only goes to the crossbowman, as a new trash unit. And Mahouts elephants are 30% faster. Knights get plus 2 attack versus archers, making them a bit more effective as a counter unit. Let's see, what other elephants can the Persians get? I know they get the War Elephant, the original elephant. I don't think they can get out battle elephants or anything like that. Yeah, they can't get any additional battle elephants or any additional unique elephants. So is that War Elephant only means that War Elephant? You now got these scouts advancing forward. These 2 fresh scouts. And you got, of course, these spearmen advancing forward. Just get some damage onto these archers. And this militia is receiving quite a bit of fire. Blue does have a very good reserve archers, but not being aggressive for the moment. Red is on the wall off his region, making himself a nice little peninsula. Blue is right now not walling off anything other than using his standard infrastructure as the wall. Though it does not get the stone or gold in his influence. We have this gold here outside of Red's influence, but it does have very good reserve of gold and stone back here. Very, very large reserve of stone. Red Scout is trying to deal with Blue Scout. And he could have gotten a slice there, but did not. Red does have a small force up here, skirmishers and a couple scouts as well. Which should be a very good force versus this army here, barring the skirmishers hitting the scouts. But the skirmishers should be able to hit everything here. Red is now facing forward with this force, trying to deal with this assault attack wave. The archers are on high ground as well, getting some additional bonus damage there. And it looks like the Red's going to go ahead and try to approach from the high ground there. And the skirmishers are immediately going for these spearmen. That is actually very important. That allows the scouts to go down to the archers. Very good play there. Taking out the counter units, so his counter units go reign supreme. This archer, scout will go down there. They're being streamed in one time. Not very good. And now the scouts are just sort of dying. That was missed with those skirmishers. The Vietnamese, of course, have higher health skirmishers. They have 36 health. I suppose. I'm not sure what the base health is. Is it 30 or 30? Plus 20% health, so that's probably 30 base health. Scout does go down. And there's still a significant number of archers here as well. Blue is not gone for Imperial Age just yet. He does have fletching. And now these archers are trying to avoid these skirmishers. Skirmishers are a bit outnumbered. They can be quickly focused down. But now we have these archers advancing down south. And these skirmishers are falling them back. Is Red going for Castle Age yet? Nope. Going for Pierce Armor. Very, very good. He knows his opponent has a lot of archers, so getting extra Pierce Armor for his skirmishers is very important. Right now they have 3 Pierce Armor. If he gets that upgrade, now they'd be up to 4 Pierce Armor, because all these archers only do 1 damage per arrow to them rather than 2, so it'll be a 50% damage reduction, thus basically doubling the health of the skirmishers versus archers. Scout, however, could use that bit of... Oh, no, wait, nope, they have to take a separate Pierce Armor upgrade, and he will quickly get picked off there. I think the Scout did a good job scouting out his opponent, and found the archers. And as far as here, there's actually a couple archers in Red's army here. Everything has 5 range, so Red should be able to get some good damage there. Slowly advancing forward, does get one blue's archers, multiple blue archers going down. Red does pick off Red's archers there, and now the scouts push them before as well. Picking off all of Red's archers here, and now going to melee range. The skirmishers do have a minimum range, and thus they're getting ripped apart. Do not have a nice secondary wall being pulled out, though there looks like there may be one area here where there only has a single scat wall. It's just that I think the palisade wall he's hitting... Oh, nope, that is a potential hole there, but he's going to try to plug it up with these houses. Everybody knows that the best way to deal with a hole in your wall is nice commode. Wait, is commode the right word? Abode. House now being built on up, though the village is getting ripped apart there. Red's now down to 38 villagers. Blue has 41, so a slight advantage for Blue right now. And now it's supposed to go for a handful of scouts now, going for bloodlines as well. Red will break, or Blue will break through Red's house right there. It's not fully built. Now getting a line of walls there to cycle them into the town center to get its arrows firing. Red does have a small force up here, but it's not a lot. Does have those scouts somewhere. Oh, there they are. And now Blue's advancing forward. We'll see that he's walled in. He's going to try to break through that unbuilt palisade wall there. And Red's now trying to back off on the far side of his town. Red's now trying to advance forward, but getting choked up by his own choke point there. Scout Cavalries, of course, have extra health now thanks to Bloodlines. Able to stand a lot more extra fire. Does have +1 Pierce 1 as well, so now the archers only do 2 damage rather than 3 damage. At 33% damage reduction. But it's just not enough forces here. Just too many blue archers. Speaking about blue, it looks like Red's going to be casting GG. This had a great scene. Thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I was going to see, does he have Castle Age on the way? But he does not. He has Wheelbarrow on the way. Oh, we got arena map here. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn bottom left side as the magenta Goths, we have Legion 64. Spawn on the top right side as the green Spanish, the Singularity. Let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses. It's also going to be arena, so it's going to be a nice long game likely. It does delete all of his walls right there. And all those as well. Very nice. Goths, infantry civilization. Infantry costs 20%, 25%, 30%, and 35% less per age. Infantry gets +1 attack per building starting feudal age. What that means, so it just prevents the militia rushes being extraordinarily effective. Villagers get +5 attack versus wild boar, which is very handy indeed, and they carry a bit more meat, so they don't really have to be directly underneath the town center. Still a good idea though. And also the boar lasts longer, giving a very, very good food boom when hunting boar, as well as deer. Loom, it can be researched instantly, which means you still have to pay the 50 gold for Loom. So it gives you some flexibility. If you don't want to go for Loom, you can go for something else. But if you want Loom, you get it instantaneously. And now, +10 population in Imperial Age. That is maximum population, so you can get 210 population in Imperial Age. Unique unit, the Huskarl, which is a very fast infantry unit, generally an anti-archer infantry unit. Unique text. Anarchy. Creates Huskarls of the barracks. Refusion. Barracks work 100% faster. If you want the Horde, the Goths is your Horde. That's not the Mongols, which is technically the Horde, but on horseback. Infantry Horde is the Goths. In Teams Barracks, Barracks works 20% faster, so 120% of work faster. I wonder if that's a multiplicative or an additive. By the way, let's switch over now to green. The Spanish. Nobody expects them. Gunpowder and monk civilization. That's what people do expect Spanish all the time. I'm trying to make sort of Inquisition joke. Those work 30% faster. Blacksmith upgrades don't cost gold. Cannon gallons benefit ballistics, not going to be useful here. Gunpowder units fire 80% faster, which is going to be very important against the Goths. Hand cannoneers will be very, very good. We see plus 20 gold per technology research, not bad. And conquistadors. Mounted hand cannoneer. And the missionary is something you do with your wife. Unique text. Monks convert faster. Missionaries get +1 range, which against the infantry civilization, not really that useful, honestly. And supremacy. True villagers are stronger in combat. That's more of a meme technology, but can be occasionally good. Trade units generate plus 25% gold, which there's not going to be useful either way. Looks like that Snow Leopard will get gunned down. Looks like green's going for the relics. Green has claimed a single relic. We got a scout here. I hear hand cannoneers. They're trying to hit this wall segment. So it looks like green went for Castle Rage hand cannoneer rush. Pretty common. Hand cannoneers are a very, very good unit. And also the scouts gain some much needed health regen. Yay. If that's finally happened. Now we got the monk trying to convert some hand cannon conquistadors. Even I'm trying to say mounted hand cannoneer, which is not entirely wrong. Monk trying to go some conversions there. Monk play by Magenta can be very useful since his one will likely go for these high valued units such as the hand can as the conquistador. Of course, he has the technology to help resist that sort of play. Let's see what monk technologies he can. Very, very little. Herbal medicine, not going to be useful. Sanctity, nice to have. Faster movement speed can be useful. Units are harder to convert. That's not going to be really necessary because one's not going to try to convert a massive wave of infantry. Regain the conversion faster as successful conversion. That can be very useful. Block printing without that, that's going to be a bit of a problem. And theocracy, that could be useful as the hand cannoneers. Trying to get some more converts, very nice. There's a large number of hand cannoneers on the field. So when you get those Huskarls out sooner rather than later, he could try going for a defensive castle along this wall line. Speaking of which, what is Magenta even doing at the moment? More villagers, he's just trying to stall out. He hasn't locked the gate. Going for a monk now, trying to go some more conversions. He actually did claim a conquistador there. Very, very nice. But now we've got more conquistadors being pulled out, as well as some petards. Relatively rare unit to see. The petard will help him blast down these walls. You need to make sure he targets the correct wall that he's already dealt a lot of damage to. Ooh! 15 health remaining. 9-0. Now there is a breach. Scouts pushing way forward as well to provide some good spotting for these missionaries since he's going to uncharted territory. And now we've got a militia here. He will save the day. And the militia is still actually alive. Conquistador captured, converted conquistadors push way forward. And now the militia member will get gunned down. And the conquistador will avoid that fire. Doing a good job of dodging. Conquistadors are not the most accurate unit. Does manage to get another conversion there. Very nice. And does go and take out the conquistadors as well. That scout could perhaps slice down the wounded wall segment, honestly. Trying to go for more conversions here. It does get a kill down Conquistador with the converted Conquistador. It does gun down the Conquistador. And the monk does get gunned down. And still, not a whole lot of active defense being pulled up by Magenta. You may want to get some... Okay, he's pulling out more monks. Going for a handcart now. But right now, what's keeping Conquistadors back is the fact that he has town centers set up on a line there. So he has a line of town centers preventing these Conquistadors advancing forward. Conquistadors who have 6 range. Town centers have 6 range, so it's not a good trade. It does manage to get another conversion there. on the scout. Okay, that was not a good conversion. Converting a conquistador and then have the monk die for it as a trade is not entirely half bad. The conquistador is what, 50, 60 gold? Monk is 100 gold. So you think that's a bad trade, but remember, you basically kill off what, 60 gold unit, but gain a 60 gold unit, making a profit of basically I think it's about 120 gold. Of course, those conquistadors are being quick gone down, is not getting good profit there. Now I've got a castle being pulled up by Green, as well as now emergency castle being pulled up by Magenta now. Green, well, Magenta may want to get out for a siege workshop to get out a quick battering ram or two to engage that castle. That wouldn't be half bad. Though Murder Hole is still a possibility. He has a barracks right here. It does come down the monk. Now I may see a bit of a castle war. Yep, looks like Magenta's castle will get the first strike. He may want to get... he doesn't have any sort of archer unit to get inside the castle, can he? Well, the conquistadors can load up inside the castle, getting some extra arrows and hitting the town center severely. And that's the one going for Impure Rage. He may need to force repair that town center in order to get his Impure Rage. He needs to get one of the villagers repairing them up. He may have all towns selected and then select on Impure Rage. That really says the one that's under fire is the one that is trying to get the upgrade. You also got another 4 towns that are put up by Green. You've got stone and gold right next to each other. Relatively close there as well. There's actually not a whole lot of outcropping of gold and stone in the middle map, so if Spanish player can take time to secure the gold primarily, not necessarily the stone. Whoops, I actually clicked off the game. He can get deny all that gold from his opponent. The town center needs repairs. He needs that Impure Rage. He's not paying attention, is he? That town center is severely wounded. He needs repairs on it. He's going to lose his Impure Rage. And there you go. His Impure Rage has been cancelled. Now he's going to quickly try to build out another castle there. I hear a lot of arrows coming out. He has a lot of conquistadors there. He's trying to get out another castle right there. Magenta losing that canceling Impure Rage, it is going to be a bit of a problem because now he doesn't have access to trebuchets to hit that castle. He's not going for another Impure Rage now. This one's being upgraded from this one, the safe one. So that is not every day you say his Impure Rage get canceled, but in this case it did happen. Green's going for Impure Rage as well. Green will get Impure Rage first, so he will deploy out the trebuchets first. This is a big problem for Magenta. But having a second castle out here will be very nice, but this castle has a lot of extra arrows thanks to all those conquistadors in the back. And plus they're getting some good health regen while at it. Herbal medicine? No. Dude, now trebuchet being pulled out. It is being pulled out at this castle now. You also got a monk here. And he's actually targeted that wall segment on purpose. Interesting. Let's see, 4. This castle's firing 13 arrows, while both those castles are firing 4. Now Green has a trebuchet deployed out on the field, and so far Magenta has not really deployed out anything. He's getting a massive wave of archer rangers. He's the gods. What is he thinking? He's going to try to quickly garrison the castle of archers to increase the arrow count? Let's switch to the Magenta now. Green's just going for... He's getting fletching now, as well as a bunch of villagers. We got a massive wave of skirmishers being deployed on out. Why skirmishers? Is it deployed to engage with conquistadors potentially? But I'm wondering... He's against Spanish. He's not going to be fighting against anything... He's not going to be fighting crossbowmen. You can't get crossbowmen. So I don't know what he's thinking with all those skirmishers. He should at least rally them into the castle. The castle wars at least will get some extra arrows to help out in this fight. Magenta's now going for a pair of trebuchets as well. Magenta's not going for bracers. Well, okay, he's going to get a pretty decent skirmishers at least. But I don't think elite skirmisher is the correct choice. I suppose he just wants something to help engage those conquistadors. Conquistadors who have 6 range, these elite skirmishers who have 8 range. So maybe he's trying to maybe he's a bit more experienced than I am, and he's just trying to build them out to hit those conquistadors. Green's castle does go down, Magenta's castle is still up and going. Now Purple's trebuchet, or Magenta's trebuchet is going to be eyeing to do a bit of a treb war. Let's get a direct hit there. These other trebuchets are having a bit of trouble there. The monastery does go down for Magenta, and Green has claimed all 5 relics, which actually is quite significant. It's a decent amount of gold tithe. Skirmisher's now advancing forward. He's getting chemistry as well as Pierce armor. And one of Green's trebuchets do go down. Green's advancing forward with a handful of villagers trying to repair up these trebuchets. One Magenta's castle does go down, trying to mass repair it up. He start hitting those villagers potentially, or the conquistadors. Let the trebuchets deal with those guys. Maybe some Huskarls? Conquistadors receiving a bit of fire there from these skirmishers. Now we've got the chemistry upgrade. Doing a bit of a troll move there, but receiving a bit of damage there. He's going for ballistics now. And now got the villagers advancing forward trying to shank these trebuchets. Conquistadors are slowly going down. Villagers do manage to get a kill there on one of the trebuchets. Magenta has 102 villagers versus opponent's 105, so his villager count has not been decreased. So he's starting to lose some of these villagers now, but Green's going to lose some of his villagers. And now here's a big wave of barracks. Hopefully he gets this unique technology soon. Because the Huskarl is going to be very, very useful to help close the distance. And Magenta has a small reserve of gold, actually a decent reserve of gold. Not a lot of food at the moment. He needs more food. He has plenty of wood. Both sides have plenty of wood. And now we do got some cavaliers put on the field. He will get out some spearmen. Now getting squires out, so going to go with his technologies, as well as spearmen. Huskarls can get. Oh yeah, and the current patch I have right now is I can't see what type of spearman he can get because that it's just broken on part of the replay system. Got another line of barracks in Bloodhouse, who's going to have 7 barracks. He's going to have a mass production of melee units. We also got a nice little town center here with food and farms and everything. Cavaliers are pushing on being deployed out. We got now the pikemen research completed. Castle not being repaired anymore. Magenta does not have any stone remaining, nor does he have access to any more stone. Now we've got another castle being blown out. He does have trebuchets forward. He's repacking up his trebuchets engaged. And now these pikemen are advancing forward. Now we've got full halberdiers put on the field, going for armor as well. Trebuchets advancing forward. We'll find a good volley onto Green's castle. We got the horde starting to be accumulated. Cavalry will better in open ranges. Of course, this is now going to become a bit of a city site. This urbanized environment is not going to be good for these cavaliers, but they do manage to slip on in to hit some hits on those trebuchets. Green's trying to repair up his castle, but there's too many trebuchets here. There's currently 4 trebuchets. You may have siege engineers. No, he can't even get siege engineers, a research option. But he can't get bombard towers. Got now the pikemen trying to get some, or halberdiers trying to get some good damage in. Skirmishers does kill off one of the villagers. Right now, Magenta has less villagers than opponent. Got a number of Green's villagers on the front line doing nothing, so basically the villager count is largely even. Now here comes the horde. More and more of these villagers pushing way forward. Not villagers, pikemen. Right now just pulling out trash, and his trash is a counter unit to his opponent's current composition. So spamming out trash is fine for Magenta. I guess he deleted that, may have been destroyed off by the trebuchets. Got some light cavalry going pull it out. Of course, they receive bonus damage from both skirmishers as well as pikemen or halberdiers. Bombard cannons being pulled out by green, but there's nothing can stop back the horde at the moment. Trying to get some good volleys on that bombard cannon. Trying to repair it up in combat. Ooh, gets a good splash damage there. And getting some great splash damage there. Very, very nice. But the pikemen are halberdiers having 4 force forward. The Goth player has a mass reserve of wood, small reserve of food. The Spanish player has a good reserve of food, wood, and small amount of gold. The Goth player has a massive reserve of gold. In fact, he's not spending any of it, which is very, very important. He just keeps spending trash and clear out his opponent, let his opponent waste all of his gold, dealing with the trash. Soon, then he can just go for a massive wave of Huskarls or champions and overwhelm his opponent that way. We have now some Hand Cannoneers on the field. I think Hand Cannoneers are going to be a better option than the Conquistador. He does have elite Conquistadors right now. Because why Hand Cannoneers over elite Conquistadors? They're simply just cheaper in the long run. And when he's fighting against this massive wave of infantry, sure, and elite Conquistadors can stutter step a little bit, but the Hand Cannoneers can simply just be cheaper, more disposable. Of course, it can be a bit problematic sometimes. And right now, he has to migrate his force. He's fighting against a horde of units. He needs just more of everything. And I also think Hand Cannoneers do bonus damage versus infantry. I don't think Conquistadors can do bonus damage versus infantry. So he's getting more and more of these Hand Cannoneers to deal with his opponent. Got a bit of a firing lane for green, but there's just a lot of trash being spewed out from Magento's base. Hand Cannoneers is starting to get overwhelmed. He needs to fall back, get these Hand Cannoneers regrouped, and maybe get out some more like... it's hard to say when you should go out. When you get this amount of force here, skirmishers and halberdiers, they're a great combination. They handle basically everything. Green may need to go for champions, honestly. That's what can best counter this force. Champions best resist both these forces. Can Spanish get Gambersons? I still don't know who gets Gambersons off my head. He can't get Gambersons, so I think he may need to transition to champions at this current rate. That may sound a bit stupid, but there's a lot of villagers up here doing nothing as well. He needs to get these villagers doing something. Maybe just click on the gold to get them doing something. Does he have supremacy researched? Oh, he does have supremacy. He's using villagers to engage the trash. How effective are villagers versus trash? Supremacy villagers? They have 9 attack. The problem is they don't get attack or move, so they are a bit hard to use. If they get supremacy and they would get the attack or move order, that'd probably be pretty good. Let's see, 9 damage, 3. Sorry about that. 3-4 armor, 80 health, versus the halberdiers, which are 10, 2, and 60 health. So I think these villagers and halberdiers are on equal footing. Problem is, they are never going to be on equal footing since there's no attack order attack move command for those villagers. Looks like Green's starting to make this breakthrough over here, but Magenta has broken out through this region. Now we've got some exterior production here, and this gold and stone can be claimed by either player. Currently being slowly mined by Green, but that's about it. Obviously, fancy forward. We do got these skirmishers of fancy forward as well. Gets some good damage there. A couple barracks do go down, but he still has. He needs to select the other player. 6 barracks at the moment. Looks like more like just 5. These skirmishers are fancy forward, so good number of Hand Cannoneers right now. Green may need to get out just a more of a front line. Halberdiers of his own, skirmishers of his own. Magenta's now pushing forward with some trebuchets, trying to hit Green's trebuchet, trying to deal with it. And Green's trebuchet does go down to a nice volley right there. A lot of Magenta's skirmishers are just getting annihilated. Green has a good firing line right here of various forces. Magenta does not have a big reserve of food anymore, as wood reserve has greatly decreased. He also has a good number, a very, very large number of gold. And now here we go. I think he just got the Anarchy. Now there's a massive wave of Huskarls. He's transitioned to finally spend his gold. Huskarls have 16 attack and 10 pierce armor. And they also move pretty quickly. He does have all of his infantry upgrades. At the moment he can't get the last set of armor. Green started to regroup his forces. Soon there's going to be a massive wave of Huskarls. Magenta does have a good number of trebuchets engaged the forward castles. There's also a severe number of bombards. And now here comes the Huskarls advancing forward. Got a high quality unit now advancing. Green has a severely large number of villagers in this region, which is actually not that great. But here comes the Huskarls advancing forward. They can withstand quite a bit of abuse from these skirmishers. But those bombards find a good hit there, and now these Huskarls are charging forward against some great damage, but receive a pretty good volley from those bombards. More Huskarls being employed now. He may not have the perfusion just yet. Perfusion, yep, that's the term. Well, it is building quite quickly. It's hard for me to tell, though. Got massive wages pushing forward. Green has got to pull out some Hussars, which is going to be relatively effective versus the Huskarls compared to those other units that he's been pulling out. But still got a good number of Halberdiers in the mix. He does lose one of his trebuchets here. Trebuchets now trying to hit that castle. Bombards find a good volley onto the trebuchets. All the Magenta's trebuchets do go down. Magenta's just having trouble with a breakout right now, and it has nothing to do versus these bombard cannons. These forces are falling back. Castle does get some damage there. Does have also a handful of Cavaliers in the mix. Green has a sizable force here, including a large number of hand cannoneers. These forces can't be rushing forward. They're splitting up his force. Ooh, I think just annihilated more of his own force with that volley. Some of those light cavalry or Hussars go down. Magenta does also have a good amount of infrastructure here. The more you focus along the flanks, the better off he is, because that will force Green to advance over here, along more surface area for this infantry to move around. Bombards trying to hit these various archery ranges here. Magenta's getting some more forces deployed on out. Got a handful of Cavaliers in the mix. The Huskarls advancing forward. Does Green have murder holes? Green does not have murder holes at the moment. Hand cannons are receiving fire from now these skirmishers. Some of these skirmishers being picked off along the flank. Huskarls trying to get those bombards. If he deals with bombards, he's able to advance a bit better. Skirmishers not getting overrun by the light cavalry. Got some Halberdiers going to come in the mix as well. Now there's a bit of a choke point here, which is good for the hand cannoneers, but also bad for his Hussars as they're getting ripped apart from multiple angles. Skirmishers getting some great hits there on those hand cannoneers. They do only have 7 range, so the skirmishers do have 8 range. Halberdiers and Huskarls trying to pull into the flank. Does nail one of his own Hussars over there. Another volley there. Gets a decent splash damage on those Halberdiers. This force are making their way forward. This force sort of getting stuck in the choke point there. Magenta's going to start closing on top of those hand cannoneers. And this gold is being claimed by Magenta. The stone has all been claimed up. Magenta has a big reserve of stone, so does Green. Both can afford a single castle in their current reserve of gold stone. Magenta still has plenty of gold, so does Green. Magenta's actually low on wood. Magenta does have 130 villagers versus bonus of 117. And it looks like I do got some market tech being researched by Magenta, and now we've got more and more Huskarls, skirmishers, and everything just being poured on out. We got a full man spam. Green's front line's starting to fall apart. He may want to get these hand cannoneers inside the garrison. He can't get the siege units in the garrison, so those will go down. If he gets these hand cannoneers inside the garrison and get murder holes, that'll be a good hard point to deal with all the infantry units. Good follow there on those skirmishers, and now here comes Huskarls. Javier's trying to clean up those forces, and now Huskarls are going to be closing in on the castle. He's trying to get to those bombard cannons. These guys are severely bunched up. Does get a good splash damage there, but not in the most opportune time. And Canadians starting to get overwhelmed from multiple angles, try to deal with these Huskarls. They're not counting arrows, so they don't get the Huskarls don't get to move bonus damage versus or resist the bonus damage from the hand cannoneers. And now the bombard cannons getting overrun. Looting out these bombard cannons is very important now. Magenta's trebuchet is starting hitting Green's castle as well. Magenta's now trying to close this breach with a castle there. Very nice. And Green's castle does go down. And there's a lot of infrastructure here that could get overwhelmed, including a lot of stables. Green's right now just trying to pull out more hand cannoneers and more hussars. Another wave of hussars falling on the field. Not a whole lot of halberdiers in this region. Magenta doesn't have the wood production to really support a whole lot of halberdiers anymore. Halberdiers now, what halberdiers he does have does manage to close a bit there. You got a very good number of hand cannoneers, but they're just simply too many units. If they're everywhere, he needs to shoot everywhere, but he simply doesn't have enough guns to shoot everywhere. He's a bit more DACA. Doing a good job of stutter stepping some hand cannoneers. They don't need to aim, they just need to fire. Hand cannoneers trying to back on off, he gets a volley there. Slowly picking apart this force. More hand cannoneers being pulled out, got a good number of halberdiers. And a lot of this infrastructure started going down. Green's hand cannoneers are falling on back. Does have the defensive castle there. He could start getting some more defenses, but now Magenta's getting a lot of trebuchets pushing way forward. Can't really leave this infrastructure alone. Maybe pull out a couple battering rams in this region, help clean it up, wouldn't be half bad. I probably put a bit too much weight in battering rams, don't I? Castle now to fire. A couple of these skirmishers do go on down. And the halberdiers are getting gunned down as well. He has a good number of hand cannoneers, that's for sure. Magenta says question mark there, I'm not sure what it means. And now he starts transitioning to long swordsman, perfect. But I'm not so sure how well they fare against Huskarls. Let's see, going for war units there. Long swordsman's advancing forward. Magenta or Green does have 2 swordsman upgrade. Can he get champions? He can get champions. Hand cannoneers trying to fire away. 2 swordsmen are going to do some more good work versus the halberdiers. You're only on a timer. I mean, he has a pretty good reserve of gold. Not really. He spent so much gold dealing with all of his opponent's trash. Magenta has plenty of gold for the time being. This game could go either way. Green shouldn't be so cocky just yet. Well, the champion transition is exactly what he needs, though. And now purple, Magenta's now going for his own two-handed swordsman and then perhaps champion. Can Goths get champions? Yes, they can. They do miss one armor upgrade. Green, the Spanish does have all of his upgrades. Of course, Gamersons as well. We do not have supply nor Gamersons. Gamersons does come after supplies, and the Goths simply cannot get Gamersons. Which I don't suppose that really matters in this sort of engagement. Both sides are sort of backing on off. Green has spent his gold reserve. Magenta still has a gold reserve, but no future gold whatsoever. Now maybe one final engagement here. Green's infrastructure here is a bit exposed, but not like it will do much. Magenta's now pushing forward some trebuchets. Magenta can, of course, sit back. Now got a couple hussars. Oh, that infrastructure that I mentioned beforehand is going to do something with this with great flank from this hussars onto those trebuchets. Got now the champions now gaining the champions. Huskarls are now going to mix as well. Green champions doing some great work. It looks like green champs win now, but got more champs being pulled on out by Magenta. Now we've got more and more champions being pulled on out. Big skirmish here. And Magenta has spent his entire gold reserve now. Green does have a small gold reserve, of course. And Magenta's now pushing way forward with all of these champions. Hard to tell me who's winning, but I think Magenta's coming out ahead. Green still has a good number of hand cannoneers, however. Looks like Green may have bought some, sold some resources off for some gold. He went for those economic techs earlier on. Doesn't he have like a... Nope, there's no passive gold generation for anything. I'm thinking about a different civilization.
Ja?
And that's going to take time to clean up that infrastructure. He's keeping his trash over here. Stalling out his bundle of trash is not half bad. He also deploy out his own hand cannoneers. Very nice. And now I've got these Hussars trying to run away. Magenta's now trying to go for a castle here. Hand cannoneers getting some good damage on those Hussars. They receive some damage, not a whole lot. More Hussars being poured in out. Castle's still not been built. Or even started being built. Here's something slicing over here. Oh, looks like a Hussar trying to take out that house. And all these additional Hussars are being built are going down immediately. The elixir count is in favor of Magenta. And he does have extra, a little bit extra population supported. These hand cannoneers of Magenta needs to make sure it doesn't get overwhelmed. Shape is now closing the distance as well, so those hand cannoneers are now safe for a general attack order. Magenta's trebuchets do going down. And I think Magenta will come out ahead. He does have a lot of force here, but I think he has less champions, but he does have a good position of hand cannoneers. Green's hand cannoneers are being focused out by the skirmishers, so Magenta is microing his force to engage those hand cannoneers. But it looks like Green's pushing, Magenta's force does get overran, but got more reinforcements trying to here. He does lose all of his hand cannoneers. But the higher production rate of Green is going to be by Magenta is very important. Also get a good numbers advantage, but he's of course fighting against a superior number of champions. Got now these Winged Hussars trying to break through this here. Realize it's just a single house there. Engage. Got this castle here as well. Magenta needs to take time to clean up all this infrastructure, not to mention repair up this house. Because he can't be losing out any villages at the moment. Got Halberds not going to move forward over here. Manages to also face forward here with a single trebuchet to hit that castle. He could keep a small force hit the trebuchet as he deals with this force here. Got these Halberds pushing forward, trying to repair up this house. Very nice. Magenta has a good reserve of food and wood, so he's playing trash spot as well. But Green, he's low on food, as well as gold as well. That relic storage is good. And now Magenta's advancing on forward. Do we see Myrtles by the side? Now this side's gone for Myrtle Hole, so we can throw a whole bunch of hand cannoneers in that castle and just start unloading arrows everywhere. A good engagement there. These Hussars are receiving quite a bit of fire, and now Green's Magenta's champions are overwhelmed Green's champions. Also got a couple Halberdiers in the mix, that also sort of dilutes the number of units actually in that area that's actually champions. Got a big wave of champions being poured out by Magenta. Scouts are pushing way forward, trying to get those trebuchets, but they're already dead. Skirmishers getting some good volleys there on those champions. Still no force here to clean up. He's wondered how he's producing so many. He went for those trade upgrades early, and he got the better conversion rates from the market. I saw that. Since he went for the market, got those trade upgrades early, he was able to steal all the high-value trades in the beginning. And now he's pushing forward with a big wave of force. Magenta's making every single penny count. So Magenta's now low on food. And now low on wood. He's and gold. He sold off a bunch of that wood for gold right there, and now he's just using his
Ja?
better,
Pace? Ja?
cheaper champions. 35% reduction in champion costs as a great front line. He still needs to clean up this infrastructure. This infrastructure is a bit of a problem. I suppose pulling out battery rams over there is not a good idea because the barracks themselves
Ja?
can't produce things that counter the battering ram.
Pace?
Like I said, I put too much stock in the battery ram. And not to mention, Magenta does have the extra maximum population, which is very important. Because that means he can field more villagers or more military.
Bereiter?
Handful of skirmishers being pulled out over there. Neither side has a trebuchet at the field. Looks like Magenta is now going for a trebuchet. And a couple of these halberdiers advancing on forward as well. Green is using the glass of stone to repair up this castle. He only has 15 stones, pebbles remaining. Make that 8 pebbles.
Gold, please.
The longer the game goes on, the better that the god player actually gets. That gold income is nice, but not everything.
Yes.
Remember, he can, if the food and woods reserve for the god officers are very, very important, because he could just queue up a whole bunch of units, and when he gets a massive wave, he'll just simply outproduce his opponent. They'll replenish the front line before his opponent can react. It's that gold. He's relying too much on that gold. Sure, it's nice, but who backed out of the game? Looks like Magenta backed out of the game. Darn, I think it was,
Ja?
I guess he didn't want to, I wish the game would have gone on longer. By the way, this is Adam Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Though honestly, look at the time right now, that's going to be my last replay for tonight. Darn, I really wish this game would have gone on longer. I think Magenta could have won it out in the end. Yeah, I think Magenta could have won it out in the end if gone long enough. The problem is he didn't take time to clean up his infrastructure. It did cause some issues. I wish Magenta would have won. It would have been nice. I like to see things that are uncommon to win. By the way, everyone, thank you for watching, and have a good night. Get some good rest and enjoy.